you are joining us from. So pop in the chat where in the world you're joining us from. I'm in the not so sunny UK today. Marissa's out in Portugal, so I'm hoping the weather's nicer there for her. So we've got lots of people flooding in. Sydney, Mexico, UK, Denmark, Turkey, Madrid, LA, California, New York, Egypt. Oh, Singapore. Wow, I've always wanted to go to Singapore. Slovakia, London. Wow. A truly global audience. So, welcome everybody. I am your host for today. My name's Elise, and I am head of publicity here at Marissa Peer. And I'm also an RTT therapist, which I will tell you a little bit about later. So, we've got our global audience here. I can see lots of you coming in today, but I want you to just know that today is not just another webinar. And if you've joined before, you'll know that I say that every time, but it's absolutely true because actually, we're not just going to tell you about RTT and what we do here. We're actually going to give you a live transformational experience so that you can experience it yourself in real time. So what's going to happen over the next hour? Well, let me tell you. So you're going to experience live RTT session with Marissa, which is all today about identifying, removing and rewriting those subconscious beliefs that might be limiting you or holding you back from that success that you're going for. So maybe it's a confidence issue, or maybe there's just something keeping you stuck and you're not really sure how to put your finger on it. So Marissa's going to help you with this today. So I know there's lots of you coming in now. So I just want to know though, are you here today because you're just want to have the experience with Marissa? And if you are, that's absolutely fine. But maybe some of you here today are thinking about training in RTT. So what I would love you to do is just pop into the chat now as well, whether you're here for me because you're here for the experience, whether you're here train me if you're here because you're thinking of training in RTT, or both. And I can already see that there's a few of you here who've been here before because you're already typing both before I've even said it. So both, training in RTT, thinking about training, both. You're all in the right place because today we're going to tell you all about RTT, but also, like I say, we're going to help you to experience it as well. So what's coming up in the next hour? We're going to look at the subconscious beliefs that might be holding you back and unlock them so that you have that greater confidence, which is going to help you to move forward. We're going to have this really lovely, powerful live experience with Marissa with one of my favorite tools, actually. It's an amazing vortex of success, abundance, and opportunity just for you. We're also going to show you how you could learn as well to do exactly what Marissa does and deliver life-changing transformations to people across the globe. We're going to have a live Q&A with Marissa as well. So once she's done her experience, stick around and pop your questions into the chat because we will go through them and have a Q&A with Marissa after that. And today as well, we've got a very special guest who's joining us, one of our amazing graduates, and she's going to tell you about her personal transformation with RTT as well, and life as a therapist now and how it's the best career in the whole wide world. But now I'm going to hand you over. I'm going to stop chatting and yabbering away. I'm going to hand you over to a lady who needs no introduction whatsoever. The wonderful, the amazing Marissa Peer. Over to you, Marissa.
Well, thank you so much. If I wasn't so hot, I might blush now with that introduction. But let's get straight into it. You know, I have a new book called Your Mind, Your Rules, and it talks a lot about the rules of the mind. And one of my favorite rules is this: your mind wishes to go back to and to keep repeating what is familiar, which is fantastic if what's familiar is having love, being told at school you're destined for greatness, knowing that you're really good at math or coding or writing or being a designer. That's great. The mind is very, very patterned, and it doesn't really care if the pattern is good or bad. It just reacts to patterns. And many of us have a pattern that is familiar in the wrong way. And the pattern is people like me can't make money. People like me can't have success. And I want you to write in the chat bar right now, because it's going to be such an interactive time. What did you hear? I mean, my dad used to say, a fool and his money are easily parted. What did you buy that for? They must have seen you coming. He would always talk about, this is too expensive, we can't afford it, it's wasteful. He was always turning off the lights and the heating, because that's what he lived. He came from a very poor working class family. His father was a fireman, and they were always worried about, I don't know where the money is coming from. And he would say things like, well, I can't find the money. I don't know where to find the money, which if you break that down is a kind of weird belief. No one says, hey, I've got to pay the gas bill. I'll just go for a walk and find the money to pay our bills. If we're smart or understand it, we find a gift and we monetize a gift. And I am so lucky because I found my gift for therapy and I monetized. I also do a lot of pro bono work. Of course, it's not just about money. But we have these blockers to success, and we hear things like, oh, look at those rich people on the hill. They don't know they're born. And we say things like, look at that rich bitch. Look at that fat cat. These people are obscenely wealthy. They have a disgusting amount of money. We even say they are frighteningly wealthy. And so if you say those kind of things, rich bitch, fat cat, dirty money, filthy rich, you're saying to your brain, money is a bad thing. I don't want it. If you say things like, well, when you make it to the top, you never know who your friends. And we all hear these expressions, it's lonely at the top. When you have money, you never know who your friends are. And that simply isn't true. I know many, many wealthy people. Tony Robbins comes to mind, Richard Branson, I've been to his island. I've never met a less lonely person in my entire life than Richard Branson and also Tony Robbins. He's not lonely at all. So what I want to do today is to find these beliefs, find them, challenge them, and change them. We're going to do two amazing things, two amazing activations. One is called It's Not Me, and the other is a vortex of energy is going to go through you, and it's going to rewire you. You see, how many of you here have upgraded your phone, have upgraded your TV to a smart TV, have upgraded your wardrobe? Have you upgraded your decor of your house? I bet you have. Probably upgraded your car too. But this is the most important thing, to upgrade your thinking. And today we're so lucky. When I was at school, it probably was true that money came from money. You went to university, you got a good job, and then you could make money, but it's not true anymore. There are people who've never really been to uni, who've invented something like that drink called Prime or Pride, that weird labubu that you hang on a bag, and have become billionaires by being in the right place at the right time, having an idea, a bit of luck too. So I'm going to have a look at some of the things you have written down here. And I want you to make a note of your beliefs. I want you to make sure you know what they are, because we're going to do a special thing in a minute. And we're going to get rid of them. We're going to erase them and let them go. But here we are. I don't have money. We can't find money. There is no money. I don't know where the money's coming from. People like us don't have money. Um, Even if you get money, you're going to run out of money before you run out of week. We have to save. There isn't enough to go around. Money doesn't grow on trees. Every time I get money, something happens, and I can't keep money. I can't hold on to money. Having money is a struggle. Having money is difficult. Having money is a challenge. I'm blocked from having money. I want never gets. How many of us heard that? Don't ask. I want never gets. But in the Bible, it says, ask and you should be given. So how weird is this? We have conflicting beliefs. I want doesn't get, but here's another one. Squeaky wheel gets it. In Mexico, they say the baby that cries gets the milk. I want never gets. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. Very confusing. I'll never have enough money. There isn't enough to go around. I can only earn a certain amount. The money I have is very limited. We can't pay our bills. We haven't got enough money. What else have we got? We were born poor, so we're going to die poor. Such a shame that people actually say that and pass it on. We're terrible with money in this house. We can't keep it. It slips through our fingers. Let me have a look. We have to work very hard to get on. Here's something that I hear a lot. Money is the root of all evil. After all, doesn't it say that in the Bible? No, it really doesn't. The Bible says the pursuit of money at the cost of everything else is the root of all evil. It doesn't say money is the root of all evil, because we can do a lot of good things with money. We can build schools, we can build orphanages, we can put wells in places where they haven't got water, we can help people with medicine, we can provide books, we can do a lot with money. So it doesn't say anywhere money is the root of all evil. It says the pursuit of money, the expense of everything else, that is the root of all evil. And that's okay. Money is hard to find. I can work hours to get just a little and it's all gone. Let me see. No one helps me. There isn't enough. Everyone else has money, but I don't. I'm ashamed that I don't have money. I'm scared of having more money. I'm not confident enough to have money or success or wealth. Okay, so there's a lot, and I could read them all day, but I really want to help you get over them. You see, I want you to close your eyes and just imagine for a minute. Keep your eyes closed just for a minute and imagine being a baby in your mother's womb. Just imagine you could go back in time and suddenly you're inside your mother's womb. It's really nice in there. It's always 75 degrees. You've got 24-hour room service, food's on tap. You can hear your mother's heartbeat. She's always there. So you'll always have company, you always have nourishment, and it's always warm. And you see, that's what you were born with, the belief that, oh, all my needs can be met. I can have food whenever I want. Someone's always there. I'm always warm and safe and cozy. So if you were born with that belief, and I promise you, you were, even if you were taken off your mother at birth to be put up for adoption, you still in the womb had that belief. And even if you were placed in a children's home, you would still cry at night and expect to be fed because you had a belief. Someone is here to meet all my needs. So here's a question. I want you to put it in the chat bar. It's such an important question. What happened to that belief you had that I'm here and it's kind of cool being here because all my needs are being met? That's what you believed when you were born. That's why you cried for food and attention to be picked up in the middle of the night. And usually somebody came. So what happened to that belief that you had? Where did it go? And why did it go? Please put that in the chat bar. I really would love to know what happened to that belief. Where did it go? And why did it go? Born into poverty, trapped in a cycle of debt. What else have we got? Life was disappointing. I felt like I was a burden. There was no one to defend me against harassment. I had negative experiences. When I was born, I was blamed for the lack of money. Dad lost his job when I was born. I can't focus and stay motivated. The people who were supposed to meet my needs were unpredictable. I realized the world was harsh. You see, a little kid, let's imagine any of you have seen the scene. Mum maybe is trying to buy you some school shoes and she's crying because she hasn't got the money. Or maybe mum has got these little jars and this is for the bills and she's trying to juggle them. Or maybe you see mum really stressed because she hasn't got enough money to be in the store to pay for stuff. You see, when you're a child, you try to make sense of that. You took ownership, and it's called learned helplessness and learned hopelessness. Oh, I can't fix this. I'll never fix it. But I want you to do, and I want you to think of someone you know who's come from absolute grinding poverty and become successful. Eminem comes from, he lived in a trailer park with a single mother who gave him Valium just to make her life easier. Can you think of anyone on the planet who's come from poverty? I met someone called Navi Jain 2 years ago. He's got his own private island. In fact, he's got an island called Mosquito where Richard Branson now lives. And he came from poverty in India and is so, so, so successful now. So if you can think of one person, anyone at all, Rihanna was in poverty. She only had her voice. Can you think of anyone who came from poverty, came from nothing at all, no money, no degree, no private education, who's become very, very successful? I've just told you Naveen Jain, Rihanna, Eminem. There are many, many, many more. Let's see who you've come up with. Elon Musk, Adam Levine, Tony Robbins. Yes, Tony Robbins had nothing. I mean, he founded the Basket Brigade because someone came to his house on Thanksgiving. They had not a thing to eat and gave them food. J.K. Rowling, she was a single mother in absolute poverty. You're right. She couldn't even turn on the heating. Oprah Winfrey, Bill Gates. Who else have we got? Tony Robbins, my dad, Nick Ashford, Justin Bieber, J.K. Rowling, Cristiano Ronaldo, Stephen Bartlett. Yeah, Stephen Bartlett came from poverty. He told me about stealing chocolate because they didn't have any luxury food at all. Madonna talked about how she would have to order food and then wait for it to be binned and go to the back of restaurants and take it when they threw it away. She was doing what they call dumpster diving. Uh, Lisa Nichols, Lisa Nichols talked about how she didn't have enough money to buy her baby diapers. LeBron James, Emma Grede. Yeah, Emma Grede talks about the fact she was a single parent. They had no money, no dad around. My granddad, Joseph McLennan III. I know Joseph, he's a lovely man. Sylvester Stallone, Adam Lambert, Stevie Wonder, Joe Vitale, Bad Bunny, Celine Dion, Sia, Steve Jobs. Michael Jackson, Shakira, Dolly Parton. I hope you can see the picture. You see, if you want success and wealth and promotion, if you want to have your own business or a lot of money, I want you to understand there is no floor and there is no ceiling, but it is a three-step process. So in order to be very successful, the first step is not, okay, let me go online and learn a skill. The first step is sit with yourself and say, I'm worth it. And whether we're going to do that in a minute. The first step is to really have the mindset of I'm worth it. 80% of your success will come from I'm worth it mindset. I know Roxy Nafusi very well, a girl who wrote Manifest, and she was telling me that, she was broke, she was a drug addict, she'd been dumped by her boyfriend, she was really unhappy, and she began to read about manifesting. And then she had the idea to write a book on manifesting. When she took it to Penguin, they said, we like it. Here's the advantage. She said, I want double. And they went, okay, which is unusual. I want double, not could I have one? Because I want double. And they gave her double on the spot. Why? Because she had, and she didn't say, I'm going to think about it, or please could I have more? Or I feel it's not enough. She said, I want double. She came at it with a mindset of I'm worth it. I'm worth it. I'm worth it. So that's the first step we're going to do today to give you this I am worth it mindset. The second step is to really think about what you require. What is your gift? What could you monetize? We're all different because you are here to find your gift, perfect your gift, and take you. By the way, Adele was brought up. She never knew her father, single mother living in no money at all. Charlie Chaplin was put on the street when he was 10 years old, literally put on the street to fend for himself. Jim Carrey, Lulu, so many people came from poverty, came from nothing, really had nothing at all. Yes, I mean, if you that's Stephen Bartlett, if you go onto YouTube, I did a session with Stephen about sugar addiction. It was all about, as a kid, all the kids had nice lunch boxes and chocolate, and they'd buy takeouts, and he had no money, so he began to steal it because he needed to feel equal to them. And as an adult, he could not get over this chocolate addiction because it said to his brain, if you have chocolate, you got some money behind you. Wayne Dyer was brought up in a children's home. Louise Hay had nothing at all. So now we know that. It's always good to think of someone and go, well, look, if they could do it, I can. Sean Connery was brought up in what's called the projects in Scotland, really deprived area. And he had a picture of a gold Rolls Royce on his bedroom door wall. And he was every day, that's my car. He never said, I wish that was my car. If only I'm dreaming. He said, that is my car. That's the mindset of owning it, believing that you're going to have it. So let's do some of that now. Let me just quickly see if there's anyone else that's come up. Okay, so I want you to all close your eyes. And I want you to think of the thing you wrote out earlier. Money doesn't grow on trees. People like us don't have money. Other people have money. We don't have money. I can't find the money. I don't know where the money's coming from. I want you to really dig down and find one. So what would my dad have said to me? A fool and his money are easily parted. They must have seen you coming. He was all, if I bought some nice clothes, he'd say that's a waste of money. And he would never pay for parking. He always liked to buy reduced food in a grocery store. For me, I knew I'd made it when I didn't look at the price of the food. When I was growing up, my dad would always go to the reduced bin and buy stuff there first. And when I stopped looking at the prices and thought, I can just take this tuna off the shelves, I can buy this, I knew then I'd broken that pattern, because a lot of people will say, I do that. I buy reduced stuff. I turn off the heating and I'm actually a millionaire. What is going on? Why am I doing that? I'm still trying to get discounted stuff. And the thing is, when you have scarcity habits, looking for reduced stuff, fretting about the cost of your electricity, but especially if you have money, you're living with scarcity habits. It's quite another thing to say, look, I haven't got the money. I can't run the air conditioning all night. I do have to budget. That's okay. But here's the truth. You cannot move into wealth while you have scarcity beliefs. I can't afford it, and scarcity habits. I'm keeping old makeup that I'm never going to wear again. I've got all these chargers in my drawer. I've got my old BlackBerry phone. I've got all these leads and batteries and things. And clothes on everywhere and out-of-date food that I cannot throw away just in case. So these are scarcity beliefs. So close your eyes. Really think of the belief. I want you to really get it. And then I want you to say out loud, that is not me anymore because, and I really need you to finish the sentence. So I would say, that's not me anymore because I never need to look at the prices of groceries. I can pick up anything from the shelves and buy it. I can go into a restaurant and order dinner and not go, well, how much is it? How much is that? Because it might be over my budget. Doesn't mean I don't like a bargain. But I don't have to say how much can I afford it? Can I get a bargain here because I'm broke? So I would say that's not me because I never look at the price of groceries. What is it? That's not me because when my mother said I got to rob Peter to pay Paul, or I don't know how to buy new shoes, that's not me. I can buy a pair of shoes every month if I want to. So I really want you to understand why it isn't you. And then I want you to shout it out as if you're telling me, as if you're justifying me. That's not me because. So let's get ready and do it together. On the count of 1, 2, and 3, shout it out. That's not me anymore because. Finish that sentence. And I want you to do it again. That's not me anymore because. And one more time, I want you to repeat word for word. That will never be me ever again for the rest of my long, abundant life because. And complete that sentence. Shout it out. Shout it out. And this is just the beginning. I want you to do this, or if you find yourself saying, oh, I'll go in after 5 because the parking's free. I'll go and shop at 8 o'clock because the groceries are cheaper. I'll go to happy hour because it's cheaper. There's nothing wrong with going to happy hour. But if you're telling yourself all the time, I haven't got the money, your brain is a proof making robot. When you say, I can't find the money, when you say, money comes to me, I live in abundance, I give of my gifts and talents, and I receive very well, the proof-making robot will make that true as well. So I want you to continue this, not just today. I want you for the next few days and weeks, as you find yourself saying, oh, better turn off the light. I need to turn off the heating. I need to go get something that's half price to go. Is this an abundant belief or a scarcity belief? Is this, can I say that's not me anymore because, can I do that? You know, my son-in-law is interesting. He won't have any food in the house that's old, even a day old. He said, oh, you can, do you want this? I cooked it. He said, I cannot eat food because my mum kept stuff and it had mold on it. She wouldn't throw anything away. He said, and I just can't stand old food because it makes me feel really poor because the jam would have mold in it, the milk would have mold on it, but she kind of kept it. No, she is a wonderful person. But interesting how that's left him with the belief that he can't eat stuff that's old because it's a trigger. So what is your trigger? And your trigger is to say, that's not me because, over and over and over again, because it isn't you and it will never be you ever again for the rest of your long, gorgeous life. If you had to wear hand-me-down clothes, and many of us did, we got second-hand stuff, we got hand-me-downs, but that isn't you. You can go and buy whatever you like. You can buy anything, anything at all. You might love vintage clothing. In fact, my daughter's father would never buy vintage clothes. I was into buying vintage leathers. He went, no. When I was a kid, I wore hand-me-downs. He said, I cannot stand secondhand stuff. When I had my daughter, somebody gave me a pram. He went, I don't want any of that. In fact, Terence Trent D'Arby, remember him? His girlfriend sent me over these clothes. He went, I don't want them. My kid is not having anything secondhand. And he refused to accept it. I'm like, this is amazing stuff. No, no kid of mine is having anything secondhand. It's all going to be brand new because I was so ashamed of having to wear secondhand clothes. So you see how this goes down the generations, how we have a trigger, we have a wound, we have a trauma of secondhand clothes, having to have cheap stuff, having to look at the price, having to be told, no, put that back. We can't afford it. Having it at Christmas and Thanksgiving and holidays, not having what other kids have. having the ice cream van come past and saying, we can't have that. So one more time, with all these examples, I want you to shout at the screen, that's not me anymore, because shout it out, scream it out, justify it to me. And one more time, I want you to go, for the rest of my long, abundant life, that will never be me ever, ever, ever again, because, and finish that sentence for me. And now we're going to do something called the healing vortex to rewire and recode your beliefs. You see, your brain is very patterned and it likes patterns, both good and bad. And I want to give you good patterns of abundance and wealth. But the biggest thing is, first, you must sound worth it, worth it, worth it. So let's take a minute and do that first. Close your eyes. And I want you to just repeat some statements word for word. And I want you to say out loud, I am worthy of success. I am worthy of wealth. I'm deserving of abundance. And again, louder, I'm worthy of wealth. I'm worthy of success. I deserve abundance. And again, shout it out, I'm worthy of wealth. I'm worthy of success. I deserve abundance. And this time I'm going to do it one more time. I want you to notice how you feel. Do you feel excited? Do you feel tearful? Do you feel angry? Do you feel dismissive? Doesn't matter what it is, but notice, put your hand on your heart, tune into how you feel as you shout out, I am worthy of wealth. I'm worthy of abundance. I deserve success. I absolutely deserve success. I'm totally worthy of wealth. I deserve riches. Open your eyes and just put in the chat bar, did you feel sad, excited, tearful, angry? Oh, this is just silly, old woo, dismissive. You see, if you feel excited, that's great, because it means you made it familiar straight away, and that's amazing. But if you felt tearful, and mostly, I had tears in my eyes. I felt angry with you, Marissa, telling me that stuff. Or some people say, this is just stupid woo-woo. All it means is one thing. If you felt daunted, it just means it's not familiar. Your brain loves what is when it wants to go there. So make it familiar. Do it again and again and again and again. Every time you're in the shower, say, so water's coming down, money is coming to me, success and wealth. When you're waiting for the kettle to boil, the toaster to pop, the coffee to brew, the bus to arrive, say it again. And soon it won't be sad or dismissive or angry. It'll be familiar, because you have got to make it familiar. You've got to state it, affirm it, embody it, shout it out. Don't mumble it this out of your mouth. Shout it out, scream it out, because when it's familiar, you're going to go towards it. Your brain loves what is familiar, does not like what is under. That's the fact. And here's another fact. You can make anything familiar. I had never turned left on a plane in my entire life. I never had a live-in housekeeper. I could never go into Dior and say, hey, which shoes? Like, I'm going to get both shoes. I don't know which ones to have. I'll have them both. Here's my credit card. I'd never done that, but now I can do it. Do you know why? Because I made it familiar. That's all it is. I remember being with a friend one day, and she goes, well, show me your ring. She goes, I could never wear a ring like that. It's too much. I'm like, really? I'd like a bigger one. I think it's great, but I could have a bigger one. That she goes, no, I could never do that. It's just too much. What she was saying is, that's too unfamiliar. Ostentatious is unfamiliar. So let's begin. All I want you to do is sit, and I want you to sit. Don't sit with your arms like that or your legs like that, because when you cross stuff, you are blocking yourself. I want you to open your hands, have your knees and ankles and elbows apart in an open position, ready to receive. All you have to do for the next 10 minutes is hear my voice. That's it. I want you to look up like that. Take your eyeballs up, keep them up, and at the same time, close the lid down. This is just a practice. Look up, close the lid. If you can do that, I find this abundance vortex amazing for you. So let's do it for real. Sit back, make sure your phone is off, no one's coming in. Take a deep breath, look up, keep your eyes up until you tell you to shut them. Breathe in and out. That's good. And again, just breathe in and out. And there's that balance of taking a breath and giving it away, giving and receiving. So one more time, take a breath in, keep your eyeballs up. And this time, As you exhale, keep your eyeballs up, but at the same time, just close your eyelids down, all the way down. That's good. Forget all about your eyes. Drop your chin. Just keep your chin dropped and just imagine you are mentally taking 10 steps. You're moving on to step 10 and 9, going deeper into an awareness of yourself. You're taking step 8 and 7, going even deeper. As you take step 6, the sound of my voice is taking you deeper. As you take step 5, the sound of your heartbeat is taking you deeper. As you take step 4, the sound of your breathing is taking you deeper. As you take step 2 and 1, you are going deeper, 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 deeper. Just go deeper, drift deeper, sink deeper. And all I want you to do is to imagine above your head is a vortex. And your vortex is kind of like if you imagine a good tornado or a spinning top that you might have had as a child, but it's wider than your shoulders and as long as your own body. So just use your imagination. Imagine at the top of your head is this powerful vortex of energy spinning from left to right, spinning, twisting, turning. You can actually tune in and you can hear its kind of hum, the humming of this. You can hear it, you can see it, you can sense it. Pick a beautiful healing color. And with your mind's eye, I want you to see and hear and feel this vortex of powerful energy. It's just about to go through your body and it's going to change everything. You know, quantum physics says where energy, you have a vibrational body. If you can change your frequency, you can change your life. And we're going to change your wealth frequency, your abundance frequency, your success frequency right now. So I want you to see that vortex above your head, to see it, hear it. I want you to imagine the tail of that vortex is touching the top of your head. It's moving into your brain, moving into your mind. It is searching for limiting beliefs, blocking thoughts, and negative programming to do with wealth. It is looking for anything you picked up. Money doesn't grow on trees. We can't find the money. It's looking for negative programming. That doesn't happen to people like us. We're just not lucky like that. It's looking for blocking thoughts. I can't find them. As it finds them, it is spinning them, vibrating them out of your mind, out of your body, out of your life. It's rather like the rotating brushes of a car wash that spin and twist and remove old stuff. If you put a car into a car wash, those brushes spin, twist, turn, vibrate, and the car comes out looking kind of shiny and way better. And so it is with negative thoughts. I want you to really imagine as that vortex is spinning, twisting, turning, vibrating, moving, it is vibrating, blocking thoughts out of your mind. It is vibrating out, washing out, spinning out, moving out limiting beliefs. It's like a massive Dyson vacuum cleaner sucking out of your mind and your body the things you picked up as a kid, because that is not you. Whatever you picked up as a kid, this is not your life today. There is no floor, no ceiling to how much money you can make, to how much success you can have, because you are worth it. So as that vortex spins and twists and turns and spins out of your brain, out of your thoughts, those old beliefs, it's spinning in a new one. Because when you let an old belief go, you create a vacancy. And you're filling that vacancy with these words: I'm worth it, I deserve it, I can have it all. I want you to start saying, I'm worth it. I deserve it. I can have it all. I'm worth it. I deserve it. I can have it all. As you wire out the old, you are coding in the new. You are coding these new beliefs like a frequency straight into your brain. So as the vortex is spinning, twisting, turning, spinning out the beliefs you picked up as a kid. We can't afford it. We haven't got the money. It's too expensive. Who do you think you are? I can't afford that. As you spin that old stuff out, you're wiring in something new. I'm worth it. I deserve it. I can have it all. I'm worthy. I'm deserving. I can have it all. So just feel this beautiful frequency, this beautiful vibration as the old beliefs go. and the new beliefs take their place as the old frequencies disappear. As those old beliefs are erased, eradicated, eliminated, and gone, you are wiring in, coding in, firing in, installing new and better beliefs forever. So as the vortex spins through your brain, it's also traveling down. It's traveling down to your eyes, and you can see a little kid who looked at the world and thought, oh, I don't know how to get money. You can see what you saw as a child, but you also see something else. You are not a child. And you have a gift, and you are here, like everyone on the planet, to find your gift, perfect your gift, and monetize your gift. So as you see what that child saw, it's like the filter is falling off your eyes, and you can see the truth about you. You are here. The universe put you here. It gave you a unique gift. And you are here to find your gift, perfect on your gift, and monetize your gift. That's why you're here. And as the vortex travels down to your ears, you remember all the things you heard. It's like your ears are open and you can hear all these things. Well, we don't have money. We're not rich. We're born poor. We'll die poor. And you're thinking, you know what? I don't have to hear that. I'm going to hear something different. I'm going to hear that I'm worth it. I deserve it. I can have it all. I am having it all starting right now. And now the vortex is moving down to your mouth. And you're beginning to notice that your mouth said these weird things. Well, I don't know how to find the money for that. I don't know where the money's coming from. And you realize that your mouth needs to say so. Say it with me now. I'm worth it. I deserve it. I'm worthy of money. I'm worthy of it. I can have it all. I'm having it all. I'm having it all right now. I want you to say it, state it, code it into your brain, wire it into your nervous system. I'm worth it. I deserve it. I'm having, or don't even say I can, say I am. Speak in the present tense. I am having it all. This proof making robot that is your brain is set to prove what you tell it. So tell it again right now. I'm worth it. I deserve it. I'm having it all. I'm worthy of success. I'm worthy of wealth. I'm worthy of abundance. I'm having all of it because I'm worth it. And just notice how that feels as this healing energy vortex spins through what you think, what you believe, what you see, what you hear, what you say. It's now traveling down your spine. It's traveling through your heart, your beautiful functional heart. It's traveling through your lungs. The first thing you did as a baby was to take a breath. The second was to give one away. And every day, every minute, every second, you give and receive. You take a breath, you give away. That is balance. So right now, take a breath and give that breath away. Receive and give and receive. Because this is a metaphor for you. You give of your talents and you receive a very healthy paycheck. You give of your gifts and you receive wealth. You receive abundance. You receive riches. You can do it. You're wiring it in. And as the vortex travels down your arms all the way to your hands, I want you to notice that your hands are open to give and receive. You give and receive. Just as you give and receive a breath, you can't give without receiving, and you can't receive without giving. Your hands give and receive. You give of your gifts, you give of your talents, and you receive income, a good income. The vortex is traveling from your head, what you see, your eyes, what you hear, your ears, what you say, your mouth, traveling down your spine, traveling through all your organs, traveling down your arms, traveling down your hands, traveling down your entire body, all the way down to your feet, spinning, twisting, turning, vibrating, moving. And the vortex is spinning out the old, vibrating out the old, washing out the old, that old stuff, those toxic beliefs, those toxic imprints, those toxic impressions, those toxic memories are being erased, eradicated, eliminated, ended, and gone. Those toxic thoughts are leaving you behind. It's all shrinking, fading, going. It's leaving you forever. And as the old stuff is washed out, vibrated out, coded out, moved out, as this vortex spins and twists and turns and vibrates out the old, it is simultaneously coding in, wiring in something better. You are worthy. You're excited. You're ready. You were born wired for abundance. You were given a gift. The universe that created you gave you a gift, and you are here to find your gift, perfect your gift, and monetize your gift. And it may take just a little while to make this familiar, but you have time to over and over again say, I'm worth it, I deserve it, I'm worthy of it, I am having it all. Because when you have it all, you give someone else permission to have it all too. When you look at Tony Robbins, at Eminem, at someone who had nothing, Muhammad Ali, and think, wow, they came from nothing, they have everything, then you realize you can do it too. You are now a role model, a mentor for other people. You realize that money is a beautiful thing. The more you have, the better you are. I want you to imagine that you're making a list of all the people who would benefit from your money. Whose kid would you put through school? Whose mortgage would you pay off? Who would you help out? And honestly, just because you could. Make that list as long as you can. Make that list so long that the other list, well, you never know who your friends or it's lonely at the top, becomes such a small list. You can ignore it. You are coding, wiring, firing into your brain, into your brain, into your body, into your nervous system, the truth about you. You are worth it. You deserve it. You are having it all. You're wealthy. You're abundant. You are rich right now. You might go, I haven't got any money right now yet, but you're still wealthy. You're still abundant. You're still living a rich life. The more you say it, state it, and affirm it, the more it'll become your reality. Your words are the thread on which you string your experiences, and make sure you're stringing words like wealthy, abundant, rich, successful, confident, having it all over and over again so the proof-making robot can make it true. So just take another minute, just another minute to let this all code in, wire in. Just feel that vortex spinning, twisting, turning, vibrating, spinning and moving, spinning out the old, vibrating out the old, letting the old go, coding in the new. Imagine this is like a massive Dyson sucking out the old stuff. It's like a broom sweeping out those limiting beliefs, sweeping out those negative thoughts, sweeping out limiting beliefs, just letting them go. They are not yours. They belong to a lifetime ago. They are something you used to have once upon a lifetime ago, and they cannot, will not, do not influence or interest you ever, ever, ever again. They are gone. They are behind you, and they're never coming back. They are out of your life. You're letting them go. So I want you to imagine just opening up two valves in the soles of your feet and just letting that vortex of energy move out, pushing out in its wake, shoving out like a broom. All those limiting beliefs, all those blocking thoughts, they are shrinking, fading, going, gone. And you feel like a car that's gone through a car wash. You feel like a car that's just been detailed, shiny and new and perfect and glossy and amazing, because you are shiny and glossy and perfect and amazing and new. And you have a wealthy mindset. You have an abundant mindset. You have a rich mindset. That's who you are. So knowing it, feeling it, I want you to one more time shout out with unshakable, unwavering conviction and certainty, I'm worth it. I deserve it. I'm worthy of wealth. I'm worthy of success. I deserve wealth. I deserve success. I'm having it all. My mindset is rich, abundant, and wealthy, and wealth and abundance and riches are going to follow. Knowing it, feeling it, believing it, Take a deep breath, open your eyes, come back into the room. And you can do this anytime. We have a lot of these vortex recordings on YouTube, on Instagram. We may have recorded this one for you too. I want you to just put in the chat bar, what did that feel like for you? How was it to let go of those old beliefs that got right in your own way? Do you feel shiny, rebooted? You see, this is the most important software you'll ever have. And just like when we have a bug in our computer, someone comes in and says, I've got rid of the bug. I've sorted out, I've changed your hardware, your software. We've got to change our own hardware, our own software. Because I felt empowering, it felt liberating. I was spinning, it felt encouraging, it felt amazing. It felt so good. You see, there are a lot of people who have wealth and they were not born to it, but they had something else. I deserve it. I'm worth it. I can ask for more because I'm worth it. I can take my product and say, this is an amazing product. You see, we buy things that make us feel good. We love things that make us feel good. Can you create a product that makes someone feel good? Can you have an emotive message as you sell your product? Can you have the mindset of success? Can you create a message that makes people really want you and your product? I'm going to end with a story of Sylvester Stallone, who came from poverty too, who wanted to be a movie star. They went, no, with that voice, you'll never, ever be a movie star. And my teacher, Gil Boyne, was a street fighter in Philadelphia, just like Sylvester Stallone. He said, look, the only thing you can ever do to make it is to write about what you know. In your case, it's boxing, right? Rocky. And then you got to say, here. So he wrote the script, sent it out because we want the script, but not you. He said, no, no, it's together. This, I am Rocky, so you can't have the script without me. And he got about 50 refusals. And they said, okay, we want the script enough. We'll take you. And of course, he made history. He only knew one thing, fighting in the street fighting. But he wrote a movie. He stood his ground until they took him. He's not poor anymore. He's not a street fighter in Philadelphia. We have to focus on what we want because your potential expands as you move towards it. And when your brain goes to that dimension of wealth, abundance, riches, and success, when it goes to that new dimension, I promise you it never, ever goes back again. Once you can move your mind to this dimension of I'm worth it, I deserve it, I'm having it, I'm worth it, you can't go back. So please expand and don't contract. Expanding is I'm worth it, worth it. Contracting is, oh, I shouldn't ask for that. It's too much. If someone buys you a gift, don't go, oh, you shouldn't have spent the money on me. Oh, don't mention it. Say, well, thank you so much. What a great gift. You thought of me. I'm so pleased. When someone brings you food and you say, they're going to nada, it's nothing. Say, thank you. Thank you so much. Don't go, sorry to bother you. Sorry, I don't understand. Sorry, I'm a bit stupid. Sorry, I'm late. Say, thanks for waiting. Thanks for explaining. Thanks for looking after me. Thanks for helping me understand that because that's not my skill set, IT. I have other gifts. And when someone gives you a compliment, don't say, oh no. Say, thank you. So don't contract, expand. You were made to be successful. Let me quickly just read out a few of these before we hand over to Elise and her amazing story of expansion. Because when you're expanding, you can't contract. There's another rule of the brain. It cannot hold conflicting beliefs and it can't hold conflicting thoughts. You can't say, I'm rich, but I'm poor. I want money, but I don't deserve it. Love the energy and the vibration in this space. I felt dizzy. I feel amazing. It's interesting now I've limited my growth to stay in my relationship and I've fully outgrown it. But I'm glad you know that. So be free, move on. I feel like I've hit the reset button. You know, every day you get a chance to reset. Every day you get a chance to choose again and again till you get it just right. I felt the contrast of what parted wanted it and what part felt like I was betraying someone. And here's, let me give you a little hint. I don't want you to say this is hard. I want you to say it's unfamiliar. It's so hard to make money. It's so hard to change careers. No, it's just, it's so hard to write a book, to write a program, to take a product to market. No, none of it's hard. It's only unfamiliar. I felt it while doing it. When coming back, the old fears, I felt they kicked in. We'll do this again and again and again. You have to make this familiar. It doesn't matter. We change in three ways: instantly, cumulative, retroactively. A lot of us change instantly. Some of us don't. Do it again. Do it every night before you go to sleep. Take a few minutes and just imagine that vortex spinning when you're in the bath in the back of an Uber, on the bus. Do it again and again, and then it will feel familiar instead of unfamiliar. Can we play the same suggestions for love? Absolutely. And you definitely should. I felt free. My hands were tingling like mad. This reprogramming works me to the point where my mother is actually blaming me for not recalling some childhood memories and for changing my person. I would just say, Mom, I've moved on. The brain doesn't go backwards. I don't want to go to the past. I can't change what's behind me, but I'm going to change what's right in me because I'm going to change what's inside of me. And that's the truth. You cannot change what's behind you, but you can change what's in front of you if you just change what's in you. The thoughts you think, the beliefs you hold, the words you use, you can change all of that. I deserve the best. I deserve it. I've expanded. I'm expanding. You're a great audience. I love you all for really playing full out with this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm decisive. I'm worth it. I'm going for it. I'm ready. Well, saying those thoughts bring up the contrary. No, the mind can't hold conflicting beliefs. Just keep saying the new ones. And as you state the new, make it familiar, making the old stuff unfamiliar. I feel like I'm being reset. So I'd love to talk to you more, but I'm keeping Elise waiting. So I'm going to bring her on, but I'm going to stay here right to the end. I'm going to come back and do a Q&A with you. We're going to tell you all about a great life you can have. So please now listen to Elise. And then we have, I believe it's Ashley coming on with another amazing story of abundance. And we really want to help you have it all. When somebody says, nobody can have it all, that's not true. I have it all. I have it all the time. I know lots of people who've got it all. Emma Grede, Stella McCartney, some people who've got it all, Ed Sheeran. And you can have it all. You can even have it all the time. So stay tuned. I'm going to come tell you about that later. I'm going to answer all your questions. But right now, Elise, darling, we're going to hear your story of abundance and joy and overcoming adversity. So over to you, Elise.
Thank you so much,
And I'm in the
Marissa.
background reading all your questions. I'm not going. I may put the camera up. I'm here reading every single question. I'm not going, and I'll be back. So stay tuned. Over to you, Elise.
Thank you so much, Marissa. And before we move on and I tell you a little bit about my story and my journey with RTT, I just want to say that Marissa has obviously just put together this absolutely beautiful session for us today, but that's not unusual for us as RTT therapists. We do this every single day. And Marissa trains us in her techniques, in her methods. So I know there's quite a few of you on here today who are thinking of training in RTT. So just think this time next year, maybe you could be delivering this to a client, doing the it's not me, and hearing that client, seeing them release, seeing them let go, and doing that wealth and success vortex with them and seeing them transform in front of your eyes. Because trust me, as a therapist, you see this in your clients happening in the moment as well. So imagine how amazing that would be. So if you are sitting there and you're thinking, wow, I want to do what Marissa does, I want to join the amazing RTT family, book your call and speak to our team because this could be the start of something completely new and completely wonderful. Never been a better time. We need more therapists. We need more people doing the amazing work that Marissa has produced. So book your call. I think we're going to just pop a little link into the chat which shows you exactly how to book it. Don't be worried about booking your call and being sold to because it's not like that at all. Our team are just absolutely amazing and they'll answer all your questions, tell you everything about the training. So book that call right now. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story now because when Marissa was talking about kind of, success not being available to you, that really resonates with me because I grew up in a little mining village in Wales where I was told money's scarce, money doesn't grow on trees, you never ask for money. And so I always felt like kind of conflicted actually, because as well, I was like the first grandchild. And my nana and my granddad used to buy me things. I nearly said the word then. They used to buy me things a lot and treat me. But my mum would say, "Oh, you're so spoilt. You're so spoilt." So for me, receiving had this kind of negative connotation because I was thinking, "Oh, well, it's really nice to get things, but actually, I don't deserve it because that makes me spoiled." So I grew up thinking that receiving anything was a bad thing, was a negative thing. And I also grew up feeling like I constantly needed to prove myself. So my father left me when I was 3 years old with no explanation whatsoever. And little childhood Elise, that little 3 year old in her mind said, that's because I'm just not good enough. I'm not lovable enough. I'm not good enough. So I need to prove myself. And that's what I set about my whole life's journey doing, just proving myself. So, for example, at school, initially at school, I used to think, right, if I just excel and do everything that I can do at school, then people will like me. I'll be worthy. I'll be able to do what I want to do. And so I went through sort of, junior school when I was younger, doing really well. But when I got to high school, I started to really struggle. And suddenly it was like I had this whole kind of level of anxiety rising because I felt like a failure. I was, failing maths. I wasn't doing very well. At this point as well, I had a stepfather who just constantly belittled me and into my teenage years would tell me that I was never enough, that I would never amount to anything. And my little pipe dreams, I was a child of the 80s and I grew up in the era of, if you're an 80s child, you might remember it, but there was a show called LA Law and it was all about these hotshot lawyers in California and it was just complete glitz and glam, and just like nonsense. But at the time I thought, wow, that's what I want to do. I want to be like that. I want that success. But I had this little voice of my father throughout my childhood years and my teen years, just basically saying, "No, you're not smart enough. You're not clever enough. No one's going to take any notice of you. You don't deserve that. Why would you be any different than any of the rest of us? You're thinking above your station." But I carried on because I thought, "Do you know what? I just feel like if I can prove myself to him and prove myself to other people, then maybe, maybe I will get that success that I want, or maybe I will actually just feel better about myself." And I was a very anxious child who then grew into a very anxious adult because I was constantly sitting on my nerves and thinking, must try harder, must do more, must keep pushing forward, must prove myself, while actually inside I was desperately, desperately unhappy. I was absolutely riddled with anxiety. And while, if I look back at it now, what I call my old life, I looked very successful on paper. I had a hotshot career working in a big PR and advertising agency. I worked really, really hard. And, I won awards for my work. And you'd think on the surface of it, oh, yeah, she's doing great. But actually, behind the scenes was a very, very different picture. And I actually felt like I was just putting on a mask of this professional PR lady getting on with life, doing really well, but inside I was drowning. Every day felt like I was treading water. I was absolutely full of anxiety. I would open my eyes in the morning, completely heart racing, stomach churning. What have I got to do today? Oh my gosh, blah, blah. I would wake in the middle of the night. I was barely eating, barely sleeping. It didn't help that I was working in a very toxic work environment where it was all about the hustle, the competing for who was in the office earliest, who was in the office latest. I would literally be going into the office at 6 a.m., leaving at midnight sometimes, and still never feeling like that was enough. But I felt like if I stopped doing that, then people would say, "Oh, she's a failure, or she can't keep up." And that little child who was saying you're not good enough was still within me saying, "You've got to keep going, you've got to keep moving." But the other thing as well was that actually, even though on the surface of it I was doing well, I was like the behind the scenes person. So other people took the credit for my work. So whenever I would spend hours and hours working on something, other people in front of me would be like, right, no, here's what we've produced and that's it. And there was something really soul destroying about that. But at the same time, I felt like that was my role. I wasn't the person to be seen. I was, still the child that should be seen and not heard. And I was the one making everyone else shine while I took that back seat. And that was my little identity. That's just what I have to do. Don't be seen. Don't try for more, but do your best. Prove yourself. But actually, I did that for such a long time. And like I say, I sort of really struggled with severe anxiety to the point of I lost a lot of weight. At one point, I was about 6.5 stone. I was barely eating, barely sleeping. I was just absolutely, I always tell a story about, one day I was on the train to work and I was sitting there and anxiety was so bad. This was the day actually I realized anxiety was so bad for me. I was sat on the train and my heart started racing and my stomach was churning. And I started to think, oh, this train's going to crash. And I then spent 20 minutes mapping out my escape route from this train crash that hadn't happened, was very unlikely to ever happen. But I created this imaginary scenario in my head because I was thinking, oh my God, if this did happen, though, what would I do? And by the time I got off to go to work, I was practically fainting because my heart was racing so fast and my blood pressure must have absolutely dropped. And I got off the train at the other end and I was absolutely sweating. And I just thought, this is bad. This isn't normal. And I'd always thought that anxiety and feeling like this was normal, but I never told anyone because I thought if I told someone, they'd think that I was weak. And that to me was like, bullet through the heart if someone thought that I was weak. Because it's the words of my father saying to me, "Ha, you'll never prove yourself, you'll never do it, you're completely weak." So I couldn't tell anybody. But there was a particularly terrible day in my job that at the end of it, I just thought, I just don't know how I can do this anymore. And I remember going home and sitting with my now ex-husband and saying, I've got to tell you something because I can't hold this together anymore. And I sobbed. And I sobbed what was, when I think about it now, like years and years of stress, anxiety, trauma. And I said, I can't do this anymore. And I uttered these words, and Marissa always says that, the words that you say to yourself, actually, your brain just accepts them as fact and it works to make it your reality. And I remember sitting there and I remember saying, I've got to stop this now, or I'm going to make myself chronically ill. And fast forward a few years, and suddenly I found just after the birth of my son, I did escape that awful career, by the way. And actually, I went off on maternity leave and I had my son. But shortly after I had my son, I started experiencing lots of different, very strange symptoms, crippling fatigue, absolute terrible brain fog where I would just be talking, completely forget what I was talking about, stop in the middle of a sentence, slurring my speech, lots of random pains in my body, had issues with my eyes. And to cut a very, very, very long story short, it took them 2 years, but they eventually diagnosed me with multiple sclerosis. And when they did, there was a weird sense of relief that A, I wasn't going mad because I'd thought there was something wrong with me, and for years they told me there wasn't. But also, I thought, oh, great, I don't have to go back to work. There's me facing this chronic health condition, which is going to completely change my life forever. But I thought, oh, at least that takes me away from that awful work environment. I can't possibly go back. But actually, it was the biggest wake up call of my entire life because it showed me that all of this time I've been pushing down all of these feelings, these emotions, this anxiety. Eventually, my body rebelled and said, tell you what, you're not listening to me. Well, I'm going to stop you in your tracks then and give you a chronic health condition. And that's exactly what it did. And I then spent probably near enough 2 years in a spiral of anxiety and depression because I was just basically sitting around waiting to get worse. Doctors said to me, take some of these drugs. We don't know how they work, but some of them do work, but you will get gradually worse. Everywhere I was looking, there were people struggling with MS, TV stories, worst case scenarios of people with MS. And I just thought, right, well, I'm just going to get gradually worse then. And I was just waiting to get worse at this point. But I had my son, my beautiful son, who's now 12 years old, but at the time he was 3. And he was looking at me, barely able to get out of bed in the morning, crying. And I just thought, I can't have him see me like this. I don't want him to have that traumatic childhood and grow up saying, oh, I remember my mummy. Yeah, she was in bed all the time, or she was crying in a corner. And so, in a way, I was quite lucky because of my diagnosis. He got a place at nursery early at age 3. And it breaks my heart every time I say this out loud, but it's so true, is that I was glad that he was able to get away from me because at that point I was just this ball of complete anxiety and illness, and I knew it wasn't good for him. But when he went off to nursery, I realized that I had nothing in my life anymore. I was basically a recluse because I was so worried that if I went out, I would have crippling spasms. I had terrible spasms in my leg, which would mean that I would just literally fall over. I wouldn't be able to string a sentence together. So I was worried that if I was talking to someone, I'd forget what I was saying or slur my speech and people would think I was drunk. So I was barely leaving the house at this point, completely reclusive. And then I just thought about my son and I thought, I don't want him to see me like this. And so I started to think there must be something that can help me. And so I started to look around at different things. I joined support groups, but it was all full of people in complete despair. And then I always say that the universe sends you little signs. And one day I came across a video of Marissa on your YouTube channel, and she was talking about the power of the body and the mind and how we have this innate ability to heal ourselves. But it's all about taking control of your mind instead of your mind taking control of you. And I thought, yes, this is so true. Because for years I'd lived in this state of anxiety and my brain was running my life and my body now. And so I thought, wow, this lady's really talking a lot of sense. And it's like she's speaking directly to me. So I binge watched every single thing that I could possibly find. I read all the books, I watched every single video, everything. And every time I was like, she's talking to me, she's talking to me. And I thought, there's something in this, there's something really in this. And she talks about this RTT, and maybe that's something that could help me. And even if it could just help me with anxiety, for example, maybe I'd be able to leave the house, go out with my son, take him to some of the baby and toddler groups. So I decided to have an RTT session initially around anxiety. And the results that I got after that one session were just amazing because I remember coming away from it and feeling like this massive, massive heavy weight had just been lifted from my shoulders. I just felt so much. I felt like I could breathe again for the first time in years, for the first time ever, it felt like. And I just thought, wow. And over the space of about 3 weeks, I started to find, I felt a little bit more confident. I started to go out again. I started to speak to people again. And this was huge for me. And I thought, right, well, okay, this is amazing. So why don't I go in with the big guns then and we'll try this for MS and see if that can help as well, see if it can help with some of my symptoms. And so over the space of probably about 8 or 9 months, I did 3 RTT sessions around MS, and the results that I got were just amazing. And this was 10 years ago now. And 10 years ago, if you'd said to me that I would be sitting here today in front of thousands of people, talking live, telling my story, I would have said, no way, that's ridiculous, because I would never have been able to have got out of bed. I would have been too fatigued to have done it. I wouldn't be able to be stringing a sentence together because I was so brain fogged. But here I am today, thriving, doing amazingly well, and just enjoying life again and thriving instead of surviving. Because when I think back now, that's all I did for such a long time in my life was surviving instead of thriving. And so obviously RTT did wonders for me, and I thought more people need to do this. And so I decided to, go back to this little pipe dream that I had actually when I left university 20 odd years ago, that I really wanted to be a counsellor or a therapist, but I thought, I've got no life experience. I grew up in the valleys of Wales and, I had quite a sheltered life and, I haven't got anything to give. Fast forward 20 years, I had like a plethora of life experience, overcoming a chronic health condition. I escaped a horrible, toxic, narcissistic marriage. I realized that I was suffering kind of trauma from childhood that I'd just repressed. And I thought, I think I can help people as well. And so I decided to do the RTT training. And I never looked back because it was just the most amazing training. Initially, I was kind of like, will I be able to do this? There still was that little voice and that's still that little dad on my shoulder saying, will you be able to do this? And I thought, I've got to try. And it was just amazing because as soon as I joined the program, it was like everybody was in the same boat. So it wasn't like I was thinking, oh, can I do this? And then other people going, oh, I'm really worried about doing this. But I tell you what, we were the camaraderie was what struck me because from being so isolated for such a long time to suddenly then being part of something which I'd never felt I had been part of was just amazing. And the training that you get from the trainers, from Marissa, it is second to none. It gives you all the tools that you need to be the phenomenal therapist that you were born to be. And now I'm doing amazingly. I'm really well. I'm living my life purpose. And now I work with other people with chronic anxiety and chronic health issues as well to help them get well the way that I was helped to get well. And I'm so very, very grateful for that. And so, yes, so now my life is completely different. I live a life of complete freedom. I choose my own hours. I work my life around my son, and I've never been happier. But the thing that makes me happiest the most is that I finally feel like I'm living my purpose after years of just struggling and pretending to be someone that I'm not. I'm finally unapologetically me. So I know some of you are here today and are thinking, do you know what? If she can do it, if Marissa can do it, if the army of RTT family can do it, maybe I can do it too, and you can. So trust me, if you're thinking it's not available to me, it is available to you and you can do it. So some of you might be thinking, okay, well, we've heard your stories. Can I learn to do this too? And you absolutely can. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Marissa's integrated program because when I first started out as a therapist, I found that I was doing RTT sessions, but also kind of coaching around what I was doing as well. So when Marissa launched the integrated program, which is RTT, Rapid Transformational Therapy, and Rapid Transformational Coaching together, and was giving you marketing support to help you build your business as well, I was like, wow, I wish I had this. So it truly is amazing. So I think George is going to bring up some slides because I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the integrated program now and how it works because it really is fantastic. So if you're looking for meaningful work, if you are looking for life purpose, like I say, where you wake up every day and you jump out of bed because you're excited to do what you want to do, this is for you because this is your chance to really make a big difference. It gives you complete freedom as well, being a therapist, because you can be your own boss, you can set your own hours, you can work from anywhere in the world. I actually went to Mexico last year on holiday, Italy the year before, and I took my laptop with me and I carried on seeing clients because I absolutely love what I do and I didn't want to even take the time off, to be honest. So it's just amazing. Financial success as well. So you can build a thriving practice with high earning potential while doing work that you genuinely love to do as well. Because I saw a few people saying, oh, yeah, I get paid a good wage in my corporate work environment, but I hate it. So you get the benefit of both doing something that you love, but also having that financial success. It gives you that flexibility around your life. You can do it full time, part time, fitting your practice around your children, travel. What I love the most is I never miss a school play, I never miss a sports day because I can be there because I've had that flexibility. We also offer that continuous growth as well. So we're always helping you to learn more, to develop, to become that very best version of yourself. So we don't just train you and then say, bye then, go out and be a great therapist. We're there to support you along the way. And I touched on this earlier as well, but the community within the RTT, I do call us the RTT family because it is like a big family. We're all there to support you and to be there for you and to cheer you on and to be your cheerleaders and to help you get to where you want to be. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit more because a lot of these kind of coaching and therapy programs I see at the moment, it's very much like, yes, we give you the skills to be a therapist or a coach, but then that's it. And a lot of people I think go, well, I've never set up a business before. So, I mean, that was me. I've never set up a business before. How the heck do I even do this? But that's where this program is completely different because we give you a supported business model as well. So we're going to help you with things like supporting you to get clients. So if you join up, you have the opportunity to apply for what is called our inner belief platform. And we're going to hear from one of our inner belief therapists later on as well. But it's basically designed to help support you with visibility and connect you with clients as well. We're going to help you with your website. So to get the tools and the structure you need to have that professional online presence. We're going to help you with the boring things as well that you need, but you might not know how to do. So your booking systems, your payment processing, your scheduling, we're there to support you through that. And also marketing support as well, because I think a lot of people go, I don't know how to sort of push myself out there, but we're going to show you how. We're going to have to position yourself, what your USP is to find your niche and attract your ideal clients. And Marissa's so committed to this, and she spent such a long time developing it that we have a success guarantee as well, which means we're completely committed to supporting you in building a successful paying client base. So if you fully complete the program, you actively apply the training that you've learned, but you find like you're still kind of, a little bit stuck or facing like an unexpected challenge in building your client base, we're going to continue supporting you with that additional guidance and coaching as well until you gain that traction. So it really is the most amazing, comprehensive program I've ever seen. And trust me, it's just so fantastic. And being part of the RTT family is just the best thing ever because you get that support all round. You get the support from Marissa, from the trainers, post graduation as well, but you get to be part of our RTT family. So it really is truly, truly amazing. So if this is resonating with you, if you're thinking maybe I could do this, you can do it. Trust me, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So go ahead and book your call. So I think there's a QR code on screen at the moment. And if you just scan that QR code now, you'll be able to book your call with our amazing team. What I would say actually is that I put off my call, I'm ashamed to say this, for about 2 years because I was kind of like, oh no, they're going to try and sell me something and I don't like it. And what if I don't want to do it? And I was really worried about doing it. But actually, the team are just so lovely. They will answer all of your questions. They'll be there to support you. They'll talk to you about payment plans. They'll answer all the questions that you could possibly think of. So please book that call. Don't be a dummy like me and procrastinate for a good, I think it was probably about a year and a half because I could have had a year and a half of doing this transformational work. And so, I'm now been a therapist for 5 years and I've never looked back. It's been the best decision that I've ever made. So book that call, use the QR code on screen, And yes, come and join our amazing RTT family. I'm going to bring Marissa back in a second. So if you do have any questions, guys, just pop them into the chat bar and we will try and get through as many questions as we can today. But Marissa also reads all the questions afterwards as well, and your comments as well, because she loves to do that. We always save the chat. But yes, if there are questions that you have, pop them in the chat bar. But I'm going to bring Marissa back now for some questions. So I think you're there in the background, Marissa,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Yeah,
Great.
is my camera on?
Yeah, yeah, we can
Oh,
see
yes, here
you.
we are.
Yeah, we
Good.
can see
Okay.
you. Great. Okay, I'm just going to run through. There's lots of questions, so I'm just going to run through some as I find them. Okay. Marissa, Amanda says, what if you've never been in business and have no clue how to even begin with doing this?
And that's absolutely valid because it is a business. You're going to find clients. We teach you first of all how to find clients. If you go in a belief, we'll find them for you and with you. Who was to teach you how to convert a client on a call. So when a client rings in and says, "Oh, I've never done this before. How do I know it works?" We tell you and show you how to do that. We show you how to niche. We show you how to advertise. We create our messaging for you. So we pretty much do it all for you. We create your message. We create your marketing. We'll build your website if you need us to. So there's a lot of things we are doing to help you because I love having my own business. It's actually great not having a boss, as Elise says. You never have to go, "Hey, my kid's sick. Can I have the day off?" You never have to say, I want to go to a wedding or it's my son's sports day. You never have to worry on Monday night when England won. Gosh, can I be up for work the next day? Because not only do you make a good amount of money, you have the freedom to work your own hours, to be your own boss. As a parent, it is probably one of the best jobs in the world. But it is more than just being a therapist. You have to do marketing, advertising, booking, your messaging. Who is your ideal client? Where are they? What do they need? And we show you all of that. So all you have to do is focus on being a phenomenal therapist, which is the most important thing you'll ever do.
Amazing. Someone else had kind of said something related as well, saying, I'm 36. I really struggle with things, even like basic percentages and probability. I think that I should probably go back to study 10th grade math. I'm not sure. But I also really believe it's high time I start a business like this. What advice would you have, Marissa?
Not everyone is skilled at math. We live in a world now where the things that mattered, spelling and math, don't matter because we have AI to do our spelling and our accounts. I've never been someone who loves math. I don't love it at all. But you don't have to be good at math to be a great therapist. You have to have a heart for wanting to help people. And if you're a genius at math, you wouldn't have what we have. We go to bed and wake up knowing that someone on the planet is living a better life because of a skill that we possess. No accountant says, "Hey, did I did someone's accounts?" We go, "Today, I helped someone find love, find success. I helped someone who was claustrophobic or couldn't get on a plane. I helped someone who was infertile have a baby." So all the math in the world will never give you what being a phenomenal therapist will give you, which is that feeling of, wow, I have a career that gives me meaning, purpose, and impact. I get to make a difference, contribute, do something that matters. So I wouldn't change any of that for being a maths genius ever.
And if you listen to my story, I was just saying that like I was massively failing maths. As long as you've got a calculator, you're absolutely fine these days, really. Marissa, there was a comment actually just I saw in the chat as well saying, how can I do this without a psychology degree? But you don't need a background in psychology
No,
or anything to do this
well,
training,
I
do
don't
you?
have a psychology degree. You don't have to have a degree in psychology or therapy or biology. Our training is so thorough and so clear. And if you're not sure, just book a call because the caller won't try to convert you. They'll answer your questions. "Hey, do I need a degree? I don't have any background." We've talked a lot about, we had a girl called Sasha who came on our course who said, "I'm a cleaner," because there's no other jobs for women like me. I've got two kids. I'm a single parent. And actually, all my clients tell me all their problems. I've always wanted to be a therapist. And she is so successful. We say, "What, a cleaner?" But she only did that because as a single parent, there were so few who go, "Hey, start at 10, finish at 2:30 every day. And if your kids are sick, you don't need to come in." But we helped her. And on our last call, we had that lovely girl. What's her name again? The lovely girl who had a stroke and was a single parent. Who's the girl we were talking with last week,
Oh, yeah,
Elise?
Nikki, our lovely Nikki.
Nikki, and
That's good.
Nikki's story was so sad. She was abandoned by a narcissist, had a stroke in her 20s, was a single parent. And now she goes to school on the day when they talk about careers and she talks about her career. helping people, changing their lives. And her daughter is so proud of her. So this is the most fantastic career. And if you said, well, what do I need? What you need more than anything else is having a heart for making a difference. If you already said, hey, I've already been a personal trainer, I was a hairdresser, I was a PA, I was a receptionist. I've always worked with people. That's the skill you need to be a great therapist. These people facing skills. We retrained a lot of police officers, flight attendants who say, and nurses who say, I've always wanted to make a difference. But this really, really works.
If you want to make a difference, you'll see that on my screen now. I'm pointing at it. There's a QR code there, so you can scan that QR code and you can book your call now. There's also a link in the chat. Like I say, it's a completely free call, no obligation whatsoever. Speak to the team. They're a really lovely bunch. And actually, they will talk to you about whether this is a good fit for you, whether you're a good fit for us. So don't be scared, don't delay, don't be a dummy like me and put it off. Scan that QR code and book your call. So, Marissa, a few people have kind of said something very similar to this, but I feel called to do this work, but I still have a lot of issues of my own to deal with. Can I still do this?
I was just actually reading someone who said that. I think it was Tanvi, who doesn't believe in herself. So the thing is, when you come and train with us as a therapist, live or online, every single week, you are a therapist and a client. Every week you practice on someone and someone practices on you, which means you get to be a client every week and you get someone to work on you. And by all means, turn up with your issues. I don't believe in myself. I self-sabotage. I procrastinate. I don't feel good enough. But in the session, when we work with you, you will feel good enough. We will teach you to get rid of your old issues. Of course, we will turn up with imposter syndrome, eating issues, drinking issues, smoking issues, self-sabotaging issues. But the therapy is so thorough and so profound that as you learn to fix other people, you will also get fixed because you'll be a client every single week. So I hope that helps you.
Marissa Zita says, I have phases in my life where I believe things will work out and I'm positive and optimistic, but then I face a challenging situation one after the other and it becomes very difficult. I start losing faith that things will change for the better. What can I do to stay positive and faithful?
Well, I think you need to find out why you're losing faith. Is that again that you don't believe it? You see, again, the proof making robot, when you say, I know this won't work out, I know this is too good to be true, I can't believe this is going to happen for me, then you're going to make that real because your thoughts start to create your reality. If you don't like your reality, go back and look at what do you believe? What do you expect? What do you think? Because our expectations, we actually make them, but what we think, we begin to manifest. And manifesting is not about, oh, I'm going to manifest money falling out of the shower head. It's about really working on something because you never manifest what you want. You manifest what you really in here believe you're worth. And if you can change, you're worth it. So I created the I'm enough. If you can change your worth, I'm not worth it to I am. I'm not enough to I am. You can create everything. So to have a long, hard look at what do you really believe about you, and then ask yourself a question. Where do these beliefs come from? Who told me that? Is it true? And even if it's true for them, does it have to be true for me? And here's a question I love to ask. What would you have to believe about you to be successful? What would you have to believe about you to be not successful? Go ahead and answer that question. What would you have to believe about you to be successful? What would you have to not believe or believe to not have success? When you can answer those questions, you can see what you need to do and be to live a really successful life.
Another question here. I'm not naturally confident or extroverted. Can quieter people still succeed in this work?
Well, not every, I mean, quiet confidence is the nicest kind, the kind that radiates from your pores. A lot of extroverts are kind of pretending they're confident, but that quiet self-assuredness, like when you go to see a doctor and they go, you're in good hands, I'm going to fix you. Or someone comes to me and says, I've never been able to find love. I go, that's going to end today. Today we're going to end that and you're going to leave here. Not only will you find love, love will find you. And it is a quiet knowing that you're here to do good work and there's nothing better than helping people. But it's not bragging. People who brag are trying to convince you because they haven't actually convinced themselves. So that quiet inner confidence It's probably the best kind.
Someone's asking, how long is the program? So it's around 21 months in total, isn't it, Marissa?
Yes.
So the first, it is in stages. So the first kind of, I think, 6 to 9 months is RTT. Then you do the rapid transformational coaching training, and then you do the practitioner upgrade and clinical hypnotherapist. But you can start earning money once you've done your RTT training, Marissa, after the first 6 months, can't you?
Yes, definitely. So after you can start earning after 6 months. The first 6 months you do the RTT training, then you do the coaching, then you do the clinical. But after 6 months, you'll get your first certificate, and you can start seeing paying clients, and you can get insurance too.
Okay. I've seen a couple of comments similar to this as well. I've tried therapy and personal development before and it hasn't lasted. Why is RTT any different?
RTT means rapid transformational therapy, and all therapy is different. So some therapies is come in every week and talk about your problems, and we'll build a relationship. And some therapy says, I'm going to try and change the problem. But we do three things very specifically. We find the pattern, we understand it, and we change it all in one session. Find the pattern, understand it, change it. So let's go back to Stephen Bartlett. He couldn't understand why, with all his money, he couldn't stop eating chocolate. He couldn't understand why he lived in a mess. And in one session, he found that little boy who didn't have the money that other kids had. If he shoplifted chocolate, felt equal. So he found it. But then he had to understand it. Oh, that's why I can't say no to it today, because it makes me feel deprived. And then we changed it. Chocolate will always be there. You can have it every day for the rest of your life, but you're choosing not to have it. So it's a combination of three things. Find the pattern, make complete sense of it with the brain, and then have the brain let go of it forever. And not many therapies do. Some change the pattern, some find it, but none of them do what we do. Find it, get the brain to make sense, but get the brain to let it go.
Amazing. And I think that was the big difference for me, Marissa, because over the years I tried all sorts to help with anxiety. I did CBT, I did talk therapy, and I always think that it works for a little while. I describe it as like the sticking plaster approach. It works for a while, but eventually that sticking plaster starts to wear off and the pain starts to shine through, and you're looking for the next emotional crutch. But with RTT, it's different because it goes to the root cause of the problem. So instead of treating just the symptoms of something, you're going to the root cause of that problem. And even having that understanding gives yourself the power to set yourself free from it. So, you kind of have that understanding. And then what we do is rewire and recode your mind to take you away from those poor habits of thought and habits of action and into more constructive patterns of thought and habits. So it really is truly transformational. Well, you've heard my story, and my story is not unusual either. And we're going to speak to Ashley in a little while, and she's going to tell you about her experience as well. So let me just see. Yeah, I saw a question which I thought was a good one. I love the idea. Oh no, what would you say to someone who feels this path is calling them, but they're terrified to trust it? Fear's holding them back.
Well, there's always fear that holds you back, and fear means false expectations. Well, fear of being rejected holds you back from finding love. Fear of not doing it stops you producing something like writing your own book or creating your own program. So you have to say, okay, I do have a fear, but am I going to let it stop me? And the thing with the fear is, if you just ignore it and start, it's like the fear of jumping in the water to swim or standing on stage. When you just begin, the fear goes away. So many people have come onto our course in tears, convinced they can't do it. And within a day, they're a different person. And you will
Amazing.
be too, I'm sure of it, because it's the best job in the world. I think you'll absolutely love it. And then, of course, you'll work with people who also say, but I'm scared of you. I was so scared. I was so scared when I began to think, really, you were scared? Wow, if you were scared, and look at you now. You see, people don't say, hey, have you got a therapist who's perfect? I want a perfect therapist with no problems, who's got a dream life to help me. They want to say, I want someone who's been through. If you said to AA, can I be a counselor? Only if you've had a problem with drinking. We only let people counsel if they've had a drink problem, because they have empathy with alcoholics. If you haven't been an alcoholic, you can't be a counselor. I love that, because they're saying your problems that you've overcome allow you to help others overcome theirs.
And I always say that, Marissa, don't I? That I think your struggles and the things that you've overcome are actually your superpower as a therapist because you can relate to people. And when people know that you've been through what they're going through and come through the other side of it, I think that's your USP, isn't
Of
it?
course, most definitely.
Okay. Another question here. What happens if I go through the training and don't feel confident enough right away to work with clients? Can I practice on friends and family?
Of course you can. And we will also find you students to practice on. So we will hold your hand until you're ready. We show you particularly how to work with friends and family. We give you students on the course to work with. We have a practice register for you. And then you'll be ready to work with paying clients.
Okay. Someone's asked about the success guarantee, Marissa. So basically, the success guarantee is that if you do all the training, everything that we tell you, do our marketing courses, do the RTT training, do everything, but you still find that you still feel a little bit stuck, or maybe you're not getting the clients that you want to get, we will continue to work with you, which I think for one of these programs is unusual because I see a lot of them and I see a lot of people saying, oh, well, they gave me the training, which was great, but I went away and it just wasn't working out for me. But now I'm just on my own and I don't know what to do. We don't do that here. Marissa's so committed to, training amazing, phenomenal therapists so that we go out into the world and we're serving the people that need it because we're in a global mental health crisis at the moment. We've never needed more therapists. So we need people to train and we want them to be successful. So we will work with you to help you get onto that pathway to success.
And you are correct. There's actually a deficit of enough therapists now. There
Mm.
aren't enough therapists, and there certainly aren't enough good therapists who can get results in one session like we can. So you'll be very, very much in demand.
Okay. And
But
if you are
go,
thinking,
go on, Elise, carry on.
I was just gonna say, Marissa, I'm just jumping in there because I'm like, if you are thinking of training and you are thinking maybe I could do this and I want to do this, you can do this. Book that call, scan the QR code. The link is also in the chat because I know sometimes people watch this on phones and go, I can't scan the QR code, I've got my phone on. But book that call with our amazing team. They really will answer any question that you have. They're such a lovely, friendly bunch. Don't feel scared. Don't be like, oh, they're going to try and sell me something because they're absolutely not. Because we want you to do this if this is the right fit for you and the right fit for us. But we need you. And that's why Marissa's on this massive mission to recruit and train more therapists so that we are becoming the resolution to the problem that we have in the world right now. So don't feel worried. Don't feel scared. They're a brilliant team. Scan the QR code, click the link in the comments, and come and join our RTT
I just saw a
family.
message from George saying, absolutely training this incredible method. I'm now able to change the lives of other people every day. So I think George just trained with me in Chelsea
Ah,
last month, and we did a session with him, and it was extraordinary to see how when you can use your pain to make other people better, it makes, when you can say, I went through that,
mhm.
other people benefited, then it suddenly all makes sense. And I love that. So, George, I'm glad you're here, and we love you very much. I know you're an amazing therapist. So, again, if you're interested, just go ahead and book a call. You're not bound to do anything. And by the way, the law says we must, when you do online selling, you must get a 14-day money back guarantee. We offer you that, but legally, we couldn't not offer you that. So anything you buy online, you always have 14 days cooling off. So if you book a call, and you sign up and then think, you know what, no, I'm not ready, you can cancel it and get your money back, no questions asked, because that is the law. But even if it wasn't, we would honor that because it's just come out of my mouth. You have a 14-day money back guarantee from not from the day you call, but from the day you sign up. So please don't, we're going to be talked into something that you can't reverse out of. We don't do that. We don't want people to come on the course that aren't right. We want to make sure, are you right for us? And are we right for you? Have you got what it takes? Can we install that in you? Somebody called me ages ago and said, hey, I've just lost custody of my children. I'd like to be a therapist. And I said, I'm really sorry. There's just no way I could train someone who's lost custody of their children. That seemed just so odd to me that she wasn't fighting for them, but she thought she'd be a therapist instead. So we do say to them, as you know. In fact, somebody put up a post saying that Marissa Peer wouldn't let me on her course because I've got mental health issues. And I said, well, of course I wouldn't let you on the course. I'm very sorry, but you can't be a therapist with mental health issues. It's not fair to your clients. It's absolutely wrong. But if you can get over them, we'd love to have you. But while you have extreme mental health issues, if you have extreme depression or anxiety, it wouldn't be fair to your clients. So we do say no to some people, not many. And with someone like that, we say, look, fine, we'll give you an RTT therapist, get better, and then of course you can come and train with us. So we don't take everybody. It's not right for everyone, but it probably will be right for you. So book a call and find out if you can change. And of course, the lovely thing is when you change someone else's life, guess what? You change your own Elisa's life, George's life, Ashley, who's coming up to life, my life. My life was changed beyond measure by changing the lives and changing other people's lives. I changed my own. In fact, you cannot change the lives of other people without changing your own life in the process. It just isn't possible. That's why this is the best job in the whole world. And it's
Exactly.
not hard, it's just unfamiliar.
Marissa, just a couple more questions before we invite Ashley on.
Okay.
What kind of client issues can I handle after completing the program?
Well, obviously, very simple things like nail biting, stopping smoking, bedwetting, fear of heights, fear of elevators, fear of bees, insomnia, all the classic stuff that you can fix in one session. And of course, a lot of addictions, food addiction, smoking addiction, drinking addiction, gambling addiction. Now we have this new screen time addiction. So fears and phobias. The only thing we'd say you shouldn't work on is acute depression. You can deal with stress and low mood, but if someone was bipolar, we'd ask you to wait until you've had 3 to 6 months under your belt before you dealt with that. But pretty much everything and anything, infertility, nightmares, you name it, we're very good at it.
Amazing. Merv has said, I really want to join. Do you guys have any loans or any payment plans so I can pay back when I graduate? My advice is scan the QR code, book your call, speak to the team. They'll take you through absolutely everything. We do payment plans. They'll talk you through everything so that it fits with you and fits with your life. So absolutely just speak to the team. They're so lovely. They're so amazing. Like I say, they will answer all of your questions. But yes, just book that call. What have you got to lose? You've got nothing to lose. Call is completely free. So jump on and speak to them. And just one final question, Marissa. So there's probably quite a few people here today who maybe haven't booked their call yet because they're thinking, oh, I really like to do this, but something's stopping me. What would your advice be, or what would your final words be for those people who are sitting on the fence at the moment?
Well, you have a brilliant brain. You can talk yourself into or out of anything. You talk yourself into, I'll do it later, I'll do it next time. And then, like Lee says, her biggest regret is she waited 3 years. So don't wait, just make a call. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. You're not legally bound by anything at all. So don't let those old blocking thoughts and limiting beliefs hold you back. Do it now.
Thank you so much, Marissa. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the beautiful experience today and for staying and answering all of the questions. I know there's lots more comments in the chat, so I'll save the chat for you because I know you always like to read the
I
comments from
do. I'm
people
reading
as
them
well.
now.
Marissa, before you do go, actually, a couple of people asked about the release of the book in the US and when Your Mind, Your Rules is going to be available.
Yes, it was supposed to be released on April the 9th, sorry, July the 9th, and I've just heard they've moved it to November the 17th. Well, my publisher Penguin are pushing to get it out sooner. You can buy the audio version and the Kindle version now, but the actual hardback book, I have no idea why they've moved the date. Maybe they want that Christmas market. We are pushing. So somewhere between August and November the 9th, it will be out. We're just hoping it'll be sooner. But if you're in America and you want it, get the Kindle version, get the audio version, and then you can buy the hardback later because it is a great book. It will change your life just by reading it.
Thank you so much. And thank you for everything today, Marissa. It's been
You're
amazing. It's
welcome.
always a treat when you do
Well,
these.
I'm going to stay on and listen to Ashley because I really want to hear her story. So let's do that now.
Fantastic. So, yes, I would love to introduce the wonderful Ashley Howard, who is one of our inner belief therapists who does amazing work and has an absolutely amazing backstory as well. So, I'm going to bring her on because I think I did mention earlier my story is not unusual. So many people in the RTT family have gone through struggles in their life and overcome adversity to go on to be amazing therapists, and Ashley is one of those. So, Ashley, I'd like to welcome you in. Here she is, all the way from San
Hello.
Francisco, but she's a UK gal.
I am a UK girl. We're a bit biased right now, but yes, I came from Cheshire in England, for all those people in the UK, and now was in San Francisco, now live in the beautiful countryside of Sonoma, which is where Napa. So I'm in wine country, and it's got these
Beautiful.
soft rolling hills and agriculture, which is very similar to Cheshire. It's funny how we sometimes go back to where we originally started, but we're changed. We're
It
not
is.
the same.
Exactly. No, love that. So Ashley, tell me a little bit about your journey before RTT and how it came into your life because you told me we spoke last week and you told me a little bit about your journey and you've gone through the ringer at various points in your life. So tell me a little bit about your past and your journey before RTT.
Before, yes, growing up in a challenging environment with an alcoholic father and a mother who was emotionally unavailable. So I was abused by my father, a lot of unpredictability, a lot of fear and anxiety that started at such a young age, probably in the womb. So a lot of conflict, uncertainty, and fear, which created a anxious child, never knowing what was happening, and probably a belief started very young age. I'm not good enough. These people aren't taking care of my needs. I'm not worthy of their love. So you can start to see the imprint of where you carry this through your life. And then, which created that hyper awareness, kind of that relentless people pleasing. If I do all of these things for my parents, my brother, for everybody, then I'll be loved. And at the end of the day, you're just kind of empty and exhausted because you've got all of that output and not a lot of receptivity back. You're not receiving a lot. So you just feel worthless, hopeless, and basically unworthy, right? So it's a struggle. And then school was challenging. Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, keep
School was
going.
challenging. School was challenging because I'm dyslexic, terribly dyslexic. And my mother was a teacher, and I struggled through school, and she didn't tell me. So at 16, I left high school because I was just really crippled. I was in special education classes, feeling very frustrated, knowing I had this brilliant brain, this very special brain, but I'd been told that I would never amount to anything. The best thing I could do, now this was in the 80s, was to either go on the dole, get pregnant, imagine that, and or work in the pill factory, or just get married and be done with it. I really didn't have the skills, and I would never go to college. But in my head, that voice inside of me said, I won't say it, but F you, I'm going to do it, and just watch me. So I went to a community college where I did English, and my English teacher came to me and said, you know, you're not stupid. You're dyslexic. And I didn't know what that meant. I said, what do you mean I'm dyslexic? What does that mean? And she said, Ashley, isn't your mother a teacher? Because it was a small town in Cheshire. And I said, yes. She said, very shocked. So she gave her a call and said, well, you know, Ashley needs to get tested in order to take the CEO, what is it? I can't remember the name of it, but anyways, the O levels, A levels, and CE, whatever it is. And so
GCSEs, actually,
thank
GCSEs.
thank you. And so I had to go through the testing, and then I actually applied to go to art college, did my foundation, and it's going to make me cry. Ooh. And I went to university in Nottingham and got a degree in arts and drama. And then I went to Japan to teach English.
It's
What?
amazing. Wow.
To CEOs in Tokyo because they were trying to be the lead for the semiconductor, which is, as we know, is in all of our computers now. So they were in competition with China and Korea. So I stayed for 2 years and then met an American who brought me to Yosemite in California. So I lived in Yosemite for a while and then eventually came to San Francisco. So that's the backstory of the struggles. Also,
But
as a teenager,
there was a particular
yeah,
traumatic point in your life though, wasn't it? Where actually you started to think everything came together, didn't it? You suddenly realized that there was something in your life that you needed to fix, but it was very traumatic, wasn't it? So tell me a little
right.
bit more about that.
Yeah, so struggling as a teenager with first being overweight, eating my emotions, and then the other extreme, anorexia, to try and control everything because of my childhood and upbringing. I was in sales in San Francisco in technology, and I'd gone into sales training. And I was walking the streets later at night and got mugged by two men with guns that pointed at my head. They didn't say anything. They wore balaclavas with slits for eyes. I couldn't even see obviously, the police wanted to identify them. I said, I don't know. So I screamed, help, and they banged me on my head here. I lost a tooth and I have a scar here. I fell to the ground. And then weeks later, I was at a music show and still had scars and what have you. And I got the post-traumatic stress disassociation. So my body went hot and cold at the same time. And the music just went woo, 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 and everything went black and white. And I thought, oh, I am having a disassociation. So I started to shout out loud, you are not taking my life. You're not taking my mind. You're not taking my body. And my friends were like, oh my God, what's going on? And I said, so that was kind of a trigger that I can do something about this. But obviously, I needed so much more help because I was traumatized. I went to talk therapy, that wasn't working, a little bit of EMDR, and then eventually saw, just like yourself, something on, I think it was Facebook, and Marissa, and I was just like, this makes sense. All these things were just triggering my head. This is what I'm talking about, but this made sense. So I did impulsively make that call, and I think it was William that answered the call, and he was so gentle and he was so soft, and I was panicked about money. And he said, why don't we have this conversation tomorrow? And we did. And I said, I'm just going to do it. And I got involved in RTT. And through the program, just like Marissa just said, you are the student and you are then the practitioner. But through that process, I realized the deeper parts of me. So the part that was, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, the inner child, the fear that was still riding, oh, is the world safe, got cleared through my training in that year and a half that I took it. And I thought, this is powerful because I came out the other side completely self-assured and confident that I could take this further. And that's what I'm doing today. I'm working with people that have the imposter syndrome, the high achievers that's saying in that little voice inside, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. I have stood in their shoes as a tech professional, carrying all that weight, overachieving and feeling depleted. So I know in all these different ways how I can help people because I've had that personal experience. I'm not a psychotherapist. I am an RTT hypnotherapist, and I'm so proud to be one because, like Marissa has said many times, she wants to heal the world. That's not ego, that is a desire because this work is so powerful that people do change in 1, 2, maybe 3 sessions, depending on the degree. But the relief that they see, you see it in their face. I wish I could take a photograph, but it's not legal, of when they come in to a session, which is like this, and how they leave. And the relief is that they've let go of something, but they understand their internal world so much better. And that then helps them when say they have a scenario, my boss is always on my case, I never feel good enough. Rather than being triggered the next day, they're like, I actually listened to what they said. They weren't criticizing me. They were just saying, can you add this to this email? And I could then go, oh, that was my trigger. That was that little part of me, that little person that was saying, I need to be seen, heard, loved, and appreciated. And now you can love yourself. You don't need to get the outside validation. You don't need to be proving yourself all the time. You feel settled and calm, which means your nervous system has come back down and you can think more clearly, have focus, and be more available so that you can become more intimate with yourself and with others. And that it starts initially with the instant, and then it's the progressive, because each situation cements, I am safe, I'm good, and I'm whole, right? And so that's where it continues to just be a wonderful experience.
Yeah, and it's that reframe that's everything, isn't it? Because I always say to my clients as well, who might come to me presenting with one thing, but then come back to me, at the 21 days and say, wow, well, loads of other areas in my life have improved. And I'm like, because it's that domino effect, isn't it? Because once you
Yeah.
learn how to reframe things, once you learn how to, what those triggers are, it does have an impact in other areas of your life. And also, it's such an amazing tool to just have, Ashley, isn't it, for everyday? Like, so for example, one of my friends was saying the other day, as a therapist, is this a weird question, but do you get therapy? And I'm like, yes, because
Yes.
we're all a work in progress. So, I don't see myself as, oh, I am all fixed. I'm not. A few months ago, I was really struggling with driving anxiety, but using the tools that I'd already knew and then having another session on that completely got to the root cause of that straight away. But even being able to know that doesn't need to be your life, right? I'm never driving again. That's like, oh, we can fix that now with RTT. So, I know exactly how to do it. So it really is amazing in all sorts of ways. You mentioned earlier that you tried lots of other things like EMDR and talk therapy. Why do you think RTT is just so powerful?
Because it's so structured. Like Marissa created this program that is so structured that the brain starts to make sense. When we're in talk therapy, we get lost in the story and we might come out with a little bit of relief, but we're like, well, what did that actually solve? This is going to get to the root cause because of the way that the program goes. Then the brain starts to go, this makes sense. I understand the story, the memory that then has created a pain point in the body, that part of you that's hurt. This is internal family systems. But once the dots are connected, like the brain mapping, the brain can go, do we want this or not? And usually you get to a place where this is not serving me. I don't want to feel this way. I understand where it came from, the origin. I understand that I've made the story continue in my life. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. It's not available to me. But that's not true. I can see where I've been pulled back, regressing constantly to the 3-year-old, 5-year-old. And it's not me. So
Yeah,
you
it's so
go
powerful that.
through the structured part of what the program offers. And I say, there's no escape. There's just no escape. You
Yeah.
are going to get relief. You are going to better understand yourself and the reasons why you get triggered and have a behavior that's not serving you. This is deep change work. It really is. It's so powerful. Thank you, Marissa. You've changed my life on many levels. I can't be so gratitude, so much gratitude.
Oh, thank you, darling. I'm so pleased I could help you. It's the
Thank
nicest
you.
thing in the world to have a method that you can pass on. I always say to everyone, if Barbara Streisand was a nail technician, what a waste. If Ed Sheeran was a plumber, when you're given a gift, you're given that gift to share with the whole world. And I do have a gift for therapy, I know that, but my gift is really creating a method that 20,000 other people have learned, and we're all changing the world. And I'm so glad you and Elise and hundreds of others are passing it on. It means the world to me. So thank you.
Ashley, just a second, because I just want to answer this question in the chat. But Eva's saying, does Marissa still teach the training herself? And she does.
Oh,
She does.
yeah.
So when you do the training, you'll find Marissa, you'll have sessions with Marissa, master classes with Marissa. She's very, very hands-on. So yes, you see Marissa, she's teaching you. She's there in the room, I promise. So Ashley, our webinar today is all about kind of removing that subconscious ceiling on success. And I know that the work you do, actually, a lot of it is with high achievers who hit a point, but then they feel held back by maybe anxiety or some unknown force. Tell me about the work that you're currently doing with them.
Yes. So working with high achievers, obviously there's all this success around them. But like I said, at the end of the day, they'll sit there and they'll feel that depletion, like, oh, or they'll feel less than. That's what I say. You're feeling less than. And in what way are you feeling less than? And it usually goes back to some childhood instant. They say, oh, I've already done that work. I've done talk therapy. I don't need to go back. I've cleared that. And often there is a protective part of not wanting to blame the parents. And I always say, we don't blame the parents. The parents were doing the best they could. And even in a healthy environment, there is a message or there is something that happens where that child will look at the situation and say, oh, I'm not getting the attention I need. And I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy of their time right now. I don't feel that I'm significant. And it still carries all the way through. And so imposter syndrome, that doubt comes back in. So even though they may be a CEO or an investor or whatever it is, a VP of something, they've got all the success around them. But again, when they're alone in that office, something inside goes, I'm still not enough, just like Elise said. And it's going back to that root cause of where it originated from and explaining it, right? Really making them understand this story you have kept. You've kept protected, but now it's come from a 3, 5-year-old and it's got distorted. And now it's a whole different thing. And now you're just looking at the world with that perspective when you've got success, but then the door closes and you go, oh, but I'm still not enough. I still need to try harder, right? That overachieving, it's exhausting, right? It's just exhausting. And this is where the nervous system just is elevated from a young age, and it never gets time to calm down and recalibrate. And here in California, Northern California, people are like, oh, I do ayahuasca, or I do mushrooms, or I do all these alternatives. And I was like, and how was that for you? What did you learn? Well, I spoke to the gods. I'm like, okay, and what did they say? Well, I don't, it was just, and they don't actually have an explanation, but going through this process, they're like, I learned so much. I just had an investor last week and he's telling all his friends, he goes, I never understood that I did all of these things. He felt like he was constantly trying to save his parents, but in our intake, he'd protected that. He couldn't admit it. And I was like, that's fine. We'll get to it. And there it was. And he was told, oh, you're too much. Stop it. Calm down. We need you at this level. And he's a very expressive person. He's a very emotional person. He's a lovely person, but had always had to conform. And when he saw this whole, like he used to lie at his parents' bed and in front of their door to try and keep the marriage together. He was only 7. And in his head, he thought he was 14, he could cope. And so once he saw that, he's like, wow, I did so much. I understand so much more about myself. I said, we're not blaming the parents. Please don't have a conversation just because now you have this awareness. But how do you feel inside? And he said, I feel calm. Like I saw him the next day. And it's just the physiology, a person's face, rather than the small eyes and the tension and the shoulders up here. It's like this relaxed state because they've let go of something, but also they understand better themselves because they've done the integration of the inner child. They're not locked away in a closet where it causes that disassociation with ourselves. It's embodied in them, and now they feel more peaceful, more calm. They have clarity, right? They have more focus because they're not in this very frazzled state. They're actually very much in their body. That's why my program's called Somatics Embodied RTT Clinical Hypnotherapy, because it's the whole package. It's all those different modalities to create a very powerful, transformative experience that you're changed.
Love
for
that.
sure.
Absolutely love that, Ashley. Tell me a bit then about how life has changed since becoming an RTT therapist. So you went from a corporate background to now living the life purpose, exactly the same as me. Tell me what life as a therapist is like day to day for you now.
Well, this is my beautiful office, which is often called the womb by my clients that come here. I am now living on 2 acres of land. I was just going to show you my German Shepherds. They usually sit outside my office. So it's very peaceful, but my mornings are about going and doing exercise or walking my dogs. That's my time. Mm-hmm. And then I take clients in the afternoons, and it's 2 or 3 clients because I've gone from, when I first started, I was like $100, and progressively I've just increased my pricing to where now I don't need to work as many hours, but I'm still making that impact. I did go through it's changed its name, so excuse me, but it was called the Accelerator Program, which is now incorporated into RTT, with the RTT training, the coaching, and then all of the marketing to help you. And that was key because we can have a passion to heal, but we might not know how to create a business. And so that was also the stepping stone that I needed to really propel myself, right? I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm pretty enough to be on a screen to advertise my business. And you just get over it. You figure out your niche. My niche is to recalibrate the nervous system. My program is a 3-week program. It's called 3-week Reset Your Nervous System. And that's working with high achievers to get over that hump of fear that's holding them back. And I just love my life. You know, I have the freedom. I'm making enough money to take the vacations, to do the things that I want to do, to work in the community. I have a women's group that I support. I have a podcast that I've created. All these things I never thought I would do because I was like, no, I can't do that. I'm doing it. And it's very, very empowering. And yes, it's part of having the things I love, but also giving back, just like Marissa said, because that giving is so fulfilling. So yeah.
Exactly. And there may be people watching today who know that they're capable of more, but maybe they're also questioning whether now, they could really build a career, change their career. What would you say to someone who's watching today and going, this sounds amazing and it sounds like exactly what I want. It just feels right. But they've still got that element of like fear, self-doubt, or a bit of their own past still holding them back. What advice would you have?
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm not a psychotherapist. Always wanted to be one, but I didn't think I was smart enough. And here I am I started this program, I think at 55. Was it 55? No, 53. And I have just turned 60. And you can start anytime you want because your life experiences will help you. Just like you said, you're helping people with chronic illness. I'm helping high achievers who are, overperforming and think that that's going to give them worth and value when actually it's themselves that need to give them the worth and value, right? So you can start anytime. And it really, you can take it step by step. Initially, like I said, I was only charging $100 and I still had my job, right? And then you start to transition out of that. You can, if you really are confident you can do it, there's all the support in the program to help you get there. But if you want to take it incrementally as you build your confidence, then you can do that. There's no like pressure to do anything, but you're constantly training in the program. Like I said, you are the student. I mean, you are the client, and then you are the participant. So you're learning both sides, and that's huge. And then you start to practice on your friends, and you start to practice on your family, and then that your family members say, "Oh, can you work on so and so? Can you work on so and?" And you keep on saying yes, right? Because you're practicing and you're learning. And then as you go through the marketing, you niche down and you really get focused on all of that marketing. So I hope that answered your question.
No,
But
that's perfect.
it's family.
Yeah, and I did exactly the same thing. So when I first graduated, I didn't jump straight in and say, oh, I'm going to help everybody with chronic health conditions. I did practice with friends and family. I did lots of sessions around confidence building, self-esteem, because I'd experienced that myself. Then I went on to anxiety. And then it was probably about, I would say, 2.5 years into my journey where I thought, I'm ready now to go out and start helping people at that level. But it really, and that's what I loved about it the most as well, Ashley, is that, you don't have to jump in straight away. You can take it at your own pace. The training you can take at your own pace. How you run your business, do it at your own pace. But we give you that support. So if this is something for you, and if you're sitting there and you're thinking, oh, I would like to jump in and do this, maybe I can join Elise and Ashley, you can join us. Don't let that fear hold you back. Don't let that little procrastinating voice hold you back either. Don't let anxiety hold you back, because me and Ashley are proof that you can overcome these things. And actually, I mentioned it earlier, those struggles are your superpower as a therapist because you are relatable. People will come to you and they'll say, oh my God, my head's full of anxiety. And you'll say, I felt that too, but look at me now. And then people have hope. You give them hope, because many of these people have gone through lots of other types of therapies and have maybe spent tens of thousands of dollars on talk therapy and things like this. And they are in that point of despair. Please help me. So we need you there. We need you to help them. We need more people training in RTT. We need you to join that integrated program. So book that call now. But Ashley, thank you so much for sticking with us. I know we've run very much over time, but I'm so glad you're here. And I know it's early morning for you as well. Just want to ask you one final question. When you look back at your journey from childhood trauma, dyslexia, anxiety, and PTSD to now helping people around the world transform their lives, how does it feel knowing that those experiences, which at one point were holding you back, actually have become your superpower and the foundation of your purpose?
I just feel free and light. And it's such a joy to see people transform. It's an honor, and I do say that to them. It's an honor to see someone go from struggle into relief, and then them to feeling like, oh, my life just is changing. And I keep in touch with them. I do. I follow up 6 months later. How is it going? And to get their stories back is as again a beautiful touch point.
I want to ask you a question, Ashley. You said you started off charging $100 an hour, and that's a session. That's a great thing. Can I ask you what you charge now, just for our audience? I think they'd like to know where you've gone
Yes.
to.
I now charge $1,000 for a 3-week program, which is about 5 hours of work.
And how much are you booked ahead? Was they, oh, where do you find your clients? Where do you find your clients?
Everyone finds me here in the Bay Area on Google, and that's where everyone's like, oh, I am on Instagrams, but people sometimes don't want to say they saw me on Instagram.
I
But
know. And have you given up your other job? Are you totally full time now with RTT?
oh yes, I've been like this for 4 years.
And have you
Yes.
got enough clients to make? Do you? Because we'll say, what if I can't find any clients? Are you booked all the time?
Yeah, because I get referrals from the people who've had the
Of course.
experience. It just is a ripple effect.
I
Yeah.
know.
Once you understand yourself and your messaging is very clear, then so LinkedIn is an amazing place, Instagram, Facebook, and then a Google page is always good. And then
And
a
of course,
website.
Ashley's career, we help you. Who is your client? Where are they? What do they need? We help you with pricing, pitching. We help you with your messaging. We help you with everything. And I bet your clients always say, "This is the best money I've ever spent." People say to me, "This is the best money I've ever spent. I would have paid you more." I've said one of our therapists told me last year that a client paid her and then paid her again. She said, "You didn't charge me enough." He said, "I would have paid 10 times that much." So he paid her again. People always say this is the best money I've ever spent in my life. No one ever says it's a bit expensive because we give people freedom and empowerment. We change people's lives. So no one ever says it's a waste of money. They always say I would have paid more. I would have paid double. In fact, I was working with a footballer recently, and I think I said to him, it's $6,000. And he thought I said 60,000. He said, oh, I would have paid 60,000. I said, no, darling, it's only 60. I would have paid 60. And I loved that. It was $6,000. I would have paid 60,000. I liked that. He said, I went to a Wigan football team and they said, we would have paid you anything for what you did to us. You got us in the Premier League. When I help people who can't get pregnant, I met someone on my course who spent $100,000 on IVF. Her name is Amanda. Nothing else. She spent $10 on my book and was pregnant at 47 naturally, is having a second baby now. And she said, I spent all that money on IVF. It's a rich woman's thing. A lot of people haven't got that money. But one session with you via your book, and I was pregnant straight away. So what we create is tremendous value. And we don't want you to undersell yourself because people really recognize the value we give. And that's a wonderful thing.
No, it really is. And Ashley, as well, you kind of like changed this. Did you say you did the training when you were around 55?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people we see on these calls go, oh, I feel like I'm too old. I'm like 45, I'm 50. I'm too old to do this. You're never too old to change that career pathway, are you?
But also
because you
for
have
a person, therapy is one of the few careers where the older you are, the more wise. Nobody's going to a therapist at 22.
Yeah.
They want someone older to go, oh, you've had some experience. You got divorced. You brought up some challenging kids. You married an idiot too, and then moved on and had a great life. So it's one of the rare careers where the older that you are, the wiser you're seen. It's one of the rare careers as a parent where you can work totally around your kids with no boss. I think it's the best job in the whole world because it gives you everything. You give a lot and you get so much back, and you're never too old. You never, oh, I'm a bit past it now. They want someone younger. They don't. Wisdom is a wonderful thing.
Absolutely. So book your call. If you're sitting there now, still procrastinating, I can see that there's still a lot of people still on the call today, and we've gone well over time, well over 2 hours. So thank you for sticking with us. But you're here for a reason, and that reason is because you're listening to what we're saying. This is resonating with you, and you're considering doing this. Take that leap. I promise you, you will never look back. You can be like me, you can be like Ashley, part of Marissa's big RTT family, doing work which is changing lives and changing the world. So why be stuck in a corporate career because you think you should be there and it's what you've been taught to do, when actually you could be living a life full of purpose and earning money to go with it as well. So don't delay, scan the QR code, click the link in the comments and join us. Join our RTT family and you won't look back, I promise you.
And we'll see you next time. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, Elise. And just think, you could be one of us. You could be on you could be doing the healing vortex with your clients, changing people's lives like Elise, like Ashley. And none of us had a background in therapy or psychology, but we do have a heart for it. And what makes you really good at it is having a heart for it. So come and join us. We'd love to have you. Thank you, Elise. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you, everyone. Love you, and find something you love. And I promise you, although you'll work hard, you feel like you've never worked a day in your life. I never plan to retire because I love it as much now as I did on day one. Not many careers have you saying, well, I never retire because I'm in love with what I do. But I know Ashley is, I know Elise is, I know I am. And I want you to be too. Thank you. Love you. See you next time. Make that call. You have nothing to lose, everything to gain. You might end up like us, having the best job in the whole world. You know, if I was a billionaire, I'd still do this because I love it so much.
Thank you so much, Marissa. And thank you so much, Ashley. So appreciate you being here today and just sharing your story so openly, so raw, so real. I think it's so important that we get that story out there, that we tell people that the struggles can become our superpowers as therapists. So thank you so much.
Can I just
Don't
ask
go away,
one
guys.
question very quickly? Because there is one, somebody said, how can we help those who have no money, who need it the most, if we just keep raising our rates? But I'm sure Ashley and Elise and me, we all do pro bono work.
Yeah.
I work in the school system. Of course, I have people who have no money, and I see them. Some of my clients are so worth it that I let people say, if you want to create a fund for my clients or without money, you can do that. And they do. But we all do pro bono work. We don't just say we only work with the rich, and we work with everybody. I'm so lucky that I've been so successful as a therapist. I go into the school system, give them all my talent free of charge. So I charge enough with my clients who have money that I can see people with no money and do pro bono work, especially children or women in women and baby units or people who've been abused. And I know almost all my therapists do pro bono work because they earn enough that they can, and because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And Marissa, you give so much away as well through your
Yeah.
YouTube channel, through all the work that you do on social media, through the webinar hosting, through everything. You just give so much away and give so much back that, so if you are thinking, oh, well, I'd like to do this, but I haven't got the funds right now, check out Marissa's YouTube channel because there's so much on there. That was really the sort of basis of me going on my healing journey, just binge watching all of that content over there. So check out Marissa's resources as well.
And if you go to marissapeer.com gifts, marissapeer.com/gifts, we have free audios on money blocks, love blocks, health blocks. They're all free. So go to
Free
marissapeer.com/gifts.
gifts.
Take whatever you want.
Yeah, slash free gifts. So yeah,
Wait,
jump on there as
is it
well.
free gifts? I thought it was just gifts anyway.
Yeah. If you
Gifts.
jump on there, you can choose. I think
Okay.
Marissa's got 4 different things there. So yes, jump on there, get those resources. But thank you. I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you again to Ashley. Thank you to Marissa. But thank you to everybody in the audience as well who have stuck with us through this mammoth session today. But we hope that you have taken away something massive from it, whether it's just enjoying the wonderful experience with Marissa, whether it's hearing our stories and thinking, well, maybe I could do this too. You can, by the way. Go out there, book that call, jump on board. My story and Ashley's story, by the way, like the stories of kind of going from struggle to strength and not unusual. And stick around afterwards as well, because when we go, there's actually going to be a video at the end as well running, just a story of some of our graduates and some snippets from a recent training that we did as well. So watch the video, feel inspired, book that call, come and join our RTT family today. And thank you so much, everybody. We hope to see you on board soon. Just fast forward to a year, you could be where we are. Maybe you'll be coming on one of the webinars talking about your journey.
Will
So
do,
see
just like
yourself
Ashley.
then.
Thanks for staying till the end. Watch the video. See you next time. Love you, Ashley. Love you, Elise. Love all of you. Thank you.
Take
Love
care,
you.
everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
He has completely shifted the trajectory of my life. It was the best decision I ever made. I'm so grateful I did it because within that year, I tripled the amount of money I paid in the school.
With RTT, I'm my own boss, can choose my own hours. I can do it to actually suit my own schedule. Yeah, I think just having control basically over your life is amazing.
They gave me freedom. I knew I was never cut out for the corporate world. I was able to have a better work and personal life balance. You know, there's always people that need help everywhere you turn. And just by speaking about it, meeting people, you have business, you have clients coming. Yes, you are making a good living, but you are also transforming lives. You have a purpose and meaning and helping people.
I was probably one of the biggest skeptics when I first started looking at this work. I thought it can't possibly work as well as it does. It really is very rewarding.
My first 3K client.
I signed up my first UK-based client.
Of the 9 discovery calls, I had 7 paid customers.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Before I became an RTT therapist, I had 27 years in corporate IT. If you'd have told me I would have ended up being a therapist, I would have laughed in your face because it just wasn't on my radar. Suffered a little bit from imposter syndrome, starting something completely new. Then my business for the next kind of 3 years was literally on referrals, and I built a full-time income fairly quickly from it too.
Rapid transformational therapy has given me a tool that really opens up the doorways to being able to do absolutely anything I could ever want to do, to engage with interesting people, to have a massive impact on people's lives.
Each day I wake up and I'll do a little work in the office, then have lunch, take the dogs to a park, come back home, then maybe do an RTT session or coaching session. It's a really beautiful flow for my life.
With all the tools that I learned, I fell in love with the results that I was already seeing with my companions, with the people that I was practicing. Then I was running a very successful business as an RTT therapist. I have phenomenal results with my clients. It's a job that brings you a lot of satisfaction personally, because you can truly help people.
I graduated in May of 2023, and that was my first 6-figure year. I didn't ever know, honestly, if I was going to get there. It was great, right, that to reach that milestone, but it was also about the way that I was doing it and the results that I was helping my clients achieve through RTT.
It gives me the financial freedom to do what I want to do because it's such a compelling, wonderful technique that people, once they've had a session, will come back for more or they'll refer other people to me.
RTT, I would say, is the opportunity for somebody to take back the power that they were born with. We've all got a bright, shiny diamond inside, and sometimes life, parents, schools, that fades a little bit. So RTT is the opportunity to really help somebody to polish up and allow their diamond to shine brightly again.
RTT is life-changing. It gives you all the tools that you need to help others and to see transformations.
I am so grateful to Marissa and all of the RTT trainers and everybody who works at the school, because it has been a really enriching experience for me and continues to be, because I learn something new from every client.
I absolutely love being able to empower my clients using RTT.
I'm here at RTT Live, training another generation of people who are going to go out and change the world. This is the most amazing therapy, but don't take my word for it. We're going to ask them, was it worth it?
This experience was life-changing for all of us. When I opened my eyes in the first session, I woke up like a new person. So glad that we learned the skills to do that for a lot of people that we can help.
I completely feel that I'm a transformed man. I called my manager this week and I told her no for the first time, and I said no twice. There's a lot of people and a lot of kids who need this.
I was telling John that I'm not the same person anymore. And he said, wait for the week to end. You would have upgraded yourself. I didn't think it was possible but I'm completely changed since Monday to now. That is the RTT family. Like, every single person is invested in you and wants to see you successful. So I'm just so proud and grateful to be here. Thanks, Marissa.
A lot of us here are seekers, right? We've sort of lived our entire lives, certainly all our adult lives, seeking out answers. And we know that there's something more, but we can't quite put our finger on it. I've done Reiki and I've done this therapy and I've done that therapy and I've been working on myself. And then you come here and miracles just come standard.
Thank you so much. Thank you. When I first somehow came across your I'm Enough program, my life never been the same. And standing here today, it proves it. I love you and thank you with all my heart.
I've done a lot of programs. I'm a trainer myself. My heart and my soul was so fulfilled. How we are also connected together, it just blows my mind. Thank you so much.
I felt very lost until one day I still remember that YouTube ads. What would your life look like if you are a rapid transformational therapist? So I signed up and it literally changed my life. Thank you so much, Marissa.
I've been feeling for so long time that I don't belong. I mean, the first day I belong.
You belong.
Wow.
What you're teaching us is not only changing our lives, we are changing the generation that might come after.
We're changing the world.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that you don't gatekeep this gift, because life in the world's going to be better because of you.
And you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The moment we change ourselves, that's a first step. I'm not going to take it to the world. I'm just taking it to the next person next to me.
It transformed me as a person and as a therapist, and it's just unforgettable.
The person who walked through these doors on Monday and the person who's talking to you now, there's a complete flip.
We are enough, I am enough, you are enough. You can transform everything with only yourself and with your mind.
This is pretty much the most rapid way of changing yourself that you could possibly come up with. Whatever you want to change, I've got the solution. Whatever problem you have, I've got the solution. Whatever you want to upgrade, I've got the solution. I mean, it sounds arrogant, but this is really the technique that works.
You can achieve whatever you set your mind to, but you doubt your abilities. And when that doubt is taken away, sky is the limit. So for me, truly, this week has been life-changing, and I'm just ready to fly. RTT is most definitely transformational.
I have never felt something like this in my entire life. You are enough, you can do it, and you can change your life.
My daughter asked me to work with her. And I said, of course, you do know I'm going to be the big source of all the problems. I know it too.
For anyone that's debating whether to do it, just take that investment. You're not going to regret it. You can literally do this for the rest of your life and it will pay itself back. So honestly, just do it. Absolutely.
There is no money in the world that is going to give you the tools, the techniques, and the feeling and the experience of this. So throw yourself there and you will be so happy.
If you want a great career, you want a career that gives you 9 things: meaning, purpose, growth, contribution, making a difference, diversity, certainty, significance, and connection. There's not many jobs that give you all those 9, but this does.
RTT has completely shifted the trajectory of my life. It was the best decision I ever made. I'm so grateful I did it, because within that year, I tripled the amount of money I paid in the school.
With RTT, I'm my own boss, can choose my own hours. I can do it to actually suit my own schedule. Yeah, I think just having control basically over your life is amazing.
It gave me freedom. I knew I was never cut out for the corporate world. I was able to have a better work and personal life balance. There's always people that need help everywhere you turn. And just by speaking about it, meeting people, you have business, you have clients coming. Yes, you are making a good living, but you are also transforming lives. You have a purpose and meaning and helping people.
I was probably one of the biggest skeptics when I first started looking at this work. I thought it can't possibly work as well as it does. It really is very rewarding.
My first 3K client.
I signed up my first UK-based client.
Of the 9 discovery calls, I had 7 paid customers.
Oh my God! Before I became an RTT therapist, I had 27 years in corporate IT. If you'd have told me I would have ended up being a therapist, I would have laughed in your face because it just wasn't on my radar. Suffered a little bit from imposter syndrome, starting something completely new. Then my business for the next kind of 3 years was literally on referrals, and I built a full-time income fairly quickly from it too.
Rapid transformational therapy has given me a tool that really opens up the doorways to being able to do absolutely anything I could ever want to do, to engage with interesting people, to have a massive impact on people's lives.
Each day I wake up and I'll do a little work in the office, then have lunch, take the dogs to a park, come back home, then maybe do an RTT session or coaching session. It's a really beautiful flow for my life.
With all the tools that I learned, I fell in love with the results that I was already seeing with my companions, with the people that I was practicing. Then I was running a very successful business as an RTT therapist. I have phenomenal results with my clients. It's a job that brings you a lot of satisfaction personally, because you can truly help people.
I graduated in May of 2023, and that was my first 6-figure year. I didn't ever know, honestly, if I was going to get there. It was great, right, that to reach that milestone, but it was also about the way that I was doing it and the results that I was helping my clients achieve through RTT.
It gives me the financial freedom to do what I want to do because it's such a compelling, wonderful technique that people, once they've had a session, will come back for more, or they'll refer other people to me.
RTT, I would say, is the opportunity for somebody to take back the power that they were born with. We've all got a bright, shiny diamond inside, and sometimes life, parents, schools, that fades a little bit. So RTT is the opportunity to really help somebody to polish up and allow their diamond to shine brightly again.
RTT is life-changing. It gives you all the tools that you need to help others and to see transformations.
I am so grateful to Marissa and all of the RTT trainers and everybody who works at the school, because it has been a really enriching experience for me and continues to be, because I learn something new from every client.
I absolutely love being able to empower my clients using RTT.
I'm here at RTT Live, training another generation of people who are going to go out and change the world. This is the most amazing therapy, but don't take my word for it. We're going to ask them, was it worth it?
This experience was life-changing for all of us. When I opened my eyes in the first session, I woke up like a new person. So glad that we learned the skills to do that for a lot of people that we can help.
I completely feel that I'm a transformed man. I called my manager this week and I told her no for the first time, and I said no twice. There's a lot of people and a lot of kids who need this.
I was telling John that I'm not the same person anymore. And he said, wait for the week to end. You would have upgraded yourself. I didn't think it was possible, but I'm completely changed since Monday to now. That is the RTT family. Like, every single person is invested in you and wants to see you successful. So I'm just so proud and grateful to be here. Thanks, Marissa.
A lot of us here are seekers, right? We've sort of lived our entire lives, certainly all our adult lives, seeking out answers. And we know that there's something more, but we can't quite put our finger on it. I've done Reiki and I've done this therapy and I've done that therapy and I've been working on myself. And then you come here and miracles just come standard.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
When I first somehow came across your I'm Enough program, my life never been the same. And standing here today, it proves it. I love you and thank you with all my heart.
I've done a lot of programs. I'm a trainer myself. My heart and my soul was so fulfilled. How we are also connected together, it just blows my mind. Thank you so much.
I felt very lost until one day I still remember that YouTube ads. What would your life look like if you are a rapid transformational therapist? So I signed up and it literally changed my life. Thank you so much, Marisa.
I've been feeling for so long time that I don't belong. I mean, the first day I belong.
You belong.
Wow.
What you're teaching us is not only changing our lives, we are changing the generation that might come after.
We're changing the world.
Thank you.
I'm so happy that you don't gatekeep this gift, because life in the world's going to be better because of you.
And you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The moment we change ourselves, that's a first step. I'm not going to take it to the world. I'm just taking it to the next person next to me.
It transformed me as a person and as a therapist, and it's just unforgettable.
The person who walked through these doors on Monday and the person who's talking to you now, there's a complete flip.
We are enough, I am enough, you are enough. You can transform everything with only yourself and with your mind.
This is pretty much the most rapid way of changing yourself that you could possibly come up with. Whatever you want to change, I've got the solution. Whatever problem you have, I've got the solution. Whatever you want to upgrade, I've got the solution. I mean, it sounds arrogant, but this is really the technique that works.
You can achieve whatever you set your mind to, but you doubt your abilities. And when that doubt is taken away, sky is the limit. So for me, truly, this week has been life-changing, and I'm just ready to fly. RTT is most definitely transformational.
I have never felt something like this in my entire life. You are enough, you can do it, and you can change your life.
My daughter asked me to work with her. And I said, of course, you do know I'm going to be the big source of